Boom. Hello. Apologies that we are late. We are just running late because of the Wrestling Escape Pod. Wrestling Escape Pod is a podcast that we do. Record it on a Tuesday, and then it goes up on a Wednesday on its own channel, goes over on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. And we've been doing that for a good few years now. And what we do is we look at like the Instagram images of the week. And we just have a lot of fun with it, to be honest. And it was great. It was a really fun episode. And it did just slightly overrun. So apologies for that. But that will be up tomorrow. That will go up onto the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. It's always 6 Eastern. And it goes up 11 at night UK time. Always the hour before AEW. So that's where I was. That's why I'm late. And as I said, apologies for that. But we are here, and it should be a decent show tonight. We have got some tag titles being defended. We've got the New Day defending the tag titles. They're going to be defending against Briggs and Jensen. We've also got the women's tag titles. They are going to be defended in a triple threat match. So we have got Kayden, Carter, and Katana Chance. They are going to be defending against Toxic Attraction, minus Mandy Rose, of course, and Ivy, Nile, and Tatum, Paxley. We've also got Nikkita, Lyons taking on Zoey Stark. We've got that match tonight as well as Axiom taking on Carmelo Hayes. And I think we've got Roxanne Perez, like title celebration type thing. Obviously, this is going to be the first week of her as champion. So I'm sure there is going to be some fallout, some follow through in regards to that. So it's quite a busy night tonight. It's actually one of like the bigger shows, and it's also the last live WWE show of before Christmas. So we've of the week on Friday we've got a pre-taped SmackDown. On Monday we've got a best of episode. I actually don't know what we're doing next week. I don't know what next week's NXT is going to be. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's taped or if that's a best of or what it is. We're going to be here for it. We're here tomorrow for AEW. We're going to be here on Friday for SmackDown. We're thinking of doing a retro watch-along on Christmas Eve. Maybe watching like a WrestleMania or something like that. Then we've got Raw Best of, which we're going to be here for. And then whatever NXT does next Tuesday, I'm sure it'll be something. I don't know that it's a brand new show. I don't know that it's live. It could be. But whatever it is, we're going to be here for it. But this is the last live show before Christmas. And so hopefully we're going to get something tasty. I still expect some surprises from SmackDown. I don't think everything that's going to happen on SmackDown has been made, has been spoiled, if you will. All the stuff in ring people know because it's been recorded, but they always tend to put some backstage segments in as like little moments, little surprises. So I am expecting that. But hopefully we get some fun tonight. Should be a decent show. There's maybe a chance the New Day could lose the titles. I don't know how long the New Day are going to be sticking around for, to be honest. I would imagine they probably don't want the tag belts on the New Day very long. They could survive this week and then ultimately drop the title, say, back to Pretty Deadly, as we get towards the end of the month or maybe early January. But they're probably not going to keep the titles on the New Day that long. I certainly don't expect New Day to have them around WrestleMania season or even around Royal Rumble, to be honest. So, there's maybe a chance that they drop them tonight to Briggs and Jensen, but I'm going to lean towards no. I'm going to lean towards that they'll keep them on the New Day for a little bit longer. But we've got that title match. We've got the women's tag title match. And as we said, a few other matches coming up as well. NXT is pre-taped tonight. NXT is pre-taped tonight. Is it? I was not aware that it was pre-taped tonight. A WrestleMania Christmas Eve watch-along would be the perfect way to spend an evening, said Jordan. WrestleMania 31, not WrestleMania 35. Definitely not. 31 could be interesting. To be honest, I need to have a look and see what we've done and what we haven't done. I feel like, The thing with watch-alongs is that you're always going to talk about what's happening at the time. You're not really just going to focus on what's happening for the watch-along. So even though we have done like quite a few WrestleManias, I bet if I was to rewatch them, the conversation is probably, who do you think's going to be winning the Rumble for 2020 or something like this? Like, there will be those kinds of conversations that sneak into them. So I suppose we could always revisit one we've already done, but it would be nice in a way to do one that I suppose we haven't already done. So I need to have a look into that and see what we could do and what ones we haven't done. But yeah, I think a WrestleMania on Saturday would be quite fun. If you do a best of on Christmas, hang on, I've got to fix that. If you do a best of on Christmas and do WrestleMania, you should do 18 with Rock and Hogan. Do you know what? That might be the one, you know, Chris, because I know we've not done 18. I know we haven't done 18. We've done 17 and we've done 19, but we haven't done 18. So 18 might be the one, buds. It might be the one. Rock and Hogan. And what with Rock potentially coming back very soon, that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? 18 could be a lot of fun. Wrestle Andy said, do you think Toxic Attraction will still be a team on the show? Yeah, I think so. I think that they've worked well together. They've been together a long time. I think to break them apart now would be a bit of a shame. I think they could do all right as solo stars, but I think they're really good as a tag team. I think they're stronger together than they... Again, you know, we know Priscilla Kelly, and she could... I don't know JC Jane, though. But Priscilla Kelly, we know, you know, we've seen, like, as a solo star. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they could, be split apart. But I don't think there's a need to do that. We need women's tag teams, and they're a good, credible women's tag team. So maybe now with Mandy Rose not around, they haven't got to take the bumps for her. Because don't forget, they were taking a lot of bumps as people were trying to get to the champion. So with Mandy not around, maybe now they can just be a bit more credible. Like, when I say that, I mean in the sense of they're not having to do as many, like, jobbing moments. They're not being attacked by people that are trying to get to Mandy. You know, it's always that way. Like, even the Usos take a lot of bumps as people try to get to Roman. Like, whenever you've got a champion, you always tend to have some people around that take bumps on their behalf. You know, we had, like, J&J Security, and we had the Singh brothers, and now we've got the Usos and Sammy. And, like, for Mandy Rose, she had Toxic Attraction. So, you know, with Mandy not around, like, it's obviously going to be a shame for them because they were always in big segments with her. But they could maybe now really be a bit more vicious and actually be a bit more credible. And I would double down on them, to be honest. WWE need good, credible women's tag teams. And I think that's exactly what they are. Raw did 1.7, said Shaquem. That's good. That's good for this time of year. I mean, they slipped down to about 1.4. And honestly, I wasn't worried about that. I mean, it's not great. But I keep saying it, this time of year is just not a great, vibrant time of year. This is not a time of year where, like, you know, you're really getting the best of wrestling in any regard. It's a time of year where everyone's thinking about Christmas, thinking about family, thinking about buying presents, wrapping presents, seeing family, like doing things that they wouldn't normally do, like the rest of the year. So this time of year is just not brilliant. It's messy. And we have seen that getting reflected in some poor ratings for WWE and some poor ratings for AEW. So for them to bounce back and get a 1.7, that's actually quite good for this time of year. Someone on Twitter said Chelsea Green could be a new Toxic Attraction member, said Bonkers. Jilly said, I think Mandy is going to come back. I think WWE will renegotiate and pay her more than her streaming. They invested so much into Mandy. James said, hope you're well. I'm happy I won £60 on the darts. Oh, well done. Well done. Jim, shout out to you. William said, still stuck at Salt Lake City. Christmas concert last night. Hockey game on Wednesday night. Helladon stage equipment up here giving my driver Christmas at home. William, shout out to you. Nile said, do a watch along. To a watch along? Oh, things. Do you know what? We've done so many watch alongs. We might get there. We might get there where we start like running out of things to do watch alongs for. So we have to start doing watch alongs of watch alongs. Big Time Back said Raw didn't go up against football, which helped. That they gained nearly 300,000. 2 more weeks left until football is over. Kicking It with Leo said, do you think Triple H should send Dana Brooke back to NXT so she can improve her skills and get over with the crowds? I don't think so, to be honest. I think that she just needs investing in. Like, sometimes it's not about, like, them improving their skills. It's about them being given an opportunity. Like, what does Dana Brooke ever get given? I mean, she gets given a 24/7 storyline, which is basically backstage segments. And then if ever she does get a match, she's soundly beaten in the ring. Like, there's absolutely nothing that she can get her teeth into. There's nothing for her to actually do. Where are the stories? Where's the promo moments? Where's the backstage interviews? Unless you're going to give her those things, she can't do anything. She could be one of the most skilled wrestlers in the world, but the booking at the moment is there's nothing there for her. There's nothing there. The problem is, it's a vicious circle because unless you invest time in someone, they're not going to be able to show you what they can do. But unless they like show you what they do, they're not going to be able to get any ratings. So it's a vicious circle. Like, they're not using her because she doesn't bring eyes to the product. But she's never going to bring eyes to the product unless you use her. So it's like, oh my God. It's a vicious circle that she's kind of got trapped in. And it's one that many, many people get trapped in, unfortunately. It's just you need that break. You need that moment to get over. You need that thing that just connects. And I actually thought she did all right with the 24/7 stuff. I mean, you could bring her down to NXT to force that connection because they would absolutely use her on NXT. So, you know, she could like flesh out her character and whatever. But I don't know. I feel sorry for her. I really feel sorry for Dana Brooke. She's actually been on the main roster for quite a long time. And she will have worked a lot of house shows, you know. She would have done a lot of wrestling at house shows. I think that she is someone that really could deserve a story. And do you know what? If she had a story and she really struggled with it and you watched it and you're like, man, she's just not doing this. The matches are bad. The promos are bad. Then I think we could have a conversation about NXT. But really, unless they're going to give us something to do, like, I just feel so sorry for her. I mean, do you put her down in NXT? You could. It's not her fault. You could, because then, as you said, they'll definitely use her. But I think this is what happened with Mandy. They didn't have anything for Mandy. They put Mandy back down there, and then they've used Mandy. And obviously that's gone the way that it's gone. But yeah, I feel sorry for Dana. I do feel sorry for her. Did you hear TMZ said Mandy made $500,000 since being released, according to her agent? That's more money than WWE contract does. Open eyes as far as women being underpaid by companies. I think, well, I mean, like, oh man, it's such a conversation, isn't it? I mean, women being underpaid, it's a very difficult conversation because women should be paid the same as men. Now, there is a caveat to that, which is if the women aren't drawing like the men are drawing, then, you know, should the pay be the same? Because maybe it shouldn't be based on gender, but it should be based more on what you draw and how big of a star you are. So it's not about men and women. It's about if you're someone that only draws consistently on average, I don't know, 1 million viewers, right? Then maybe you hit a certain pay grade. Doesn't matter if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a woman, right? I suppose in that way, as long as it's the same for men and women, I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. As long as it is the same. So I feel like without knowing what the women's contracts are compared to the men's contracts, without knowing what the ratings are for the women's compared to the men's, and we're never going to have proper visibility on that. We're never going to see those numbers. There'll be speculation around those numbers, and there'll be little things that come out, but you're never going to get the full picture. Not unless you're sat there with all the data that you need to make that kind of decision. You're never going to be able to know the true story, right? Because, you could have a woman that comes out and says, I'm getting paid 20,000 less than my male counterpart. Well, okay, but what's your ratings compared to that male counterpart? And I have no, let's make this crystal clear. I think men and women should be paid the same, but they should be paid the same if they're doing the same. So if there's two women, or let's say there's a woman that gets more ratings than the guy, then maybe the woman deserves more money, should get more money than the guys, right? It works the other way around as well. So this is a whole big conversation about women's pay, men's pay. And in a lot of industries, it's not correct. In a lot of industries, it's not even. And it absolutely should be. If you do the same amount of work as a male counterpart, then yes, it should be the same. But I think with wrestling, you could make an argument that if it's based on your average ratings and how connected you are with the audience and how many viewers you're bringing, like what you're bringing to the product is what you're going to be paid on, then maybe we could have a whole separate conversation. But without seeing that data, I have no idea. So, and again, that'll come back to, well, how are you meant to get better ratings if you're not used? It's a very good conversation. It's very, I totally understand that. But you can't pay everyone the big bucks, can you? You can't pay everyone the big bucks. And sadly, not everyone is going to be champion. You need people that are going to be jobbers. You need people that are going to be in the mid cards. You need people that are going to be at the top. You need people at all these different levels, and they would get paid accordingly. If you're a jobber, you're probably not bringing in massive views, so you get paid at that level. If you're a mid-carder, you've got a nice fan base, but you're not Roman Reigns, so you get paid at that level. And again, for me, shouldn't matter if you're a man or a woman, I would imagine that would be a better way of like sorting out the pay and sorting out contracts and doing it that way. So I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, like to match 500,000 and to pay her more than 500,000, there is absolutely nothing in the numbers that might suggest that she's worth that. It might be. You would have to know how much money you was making, what your budget was for wages, what the ratings are that everyone brings in, the pay structure that's already in place for the other wrestlers, so that you've got a barometer of where you are. I mean, the highest paid person in NXT might be on 100,000. So why the hell would you pay Mandy Rose 500,000? You wouldn't, would you? So this is what I'm saying. There's just no way for fans to be able to make up a conversation or have a conversation like that, because you're never going to have enough information. You're never going to have enough data. If I was going to make that decision or have that conversation, I would need to know what's everyone being paid, what's all of the ratings, what's the pay structure at the moment, how much money is coming in. So I need to know the budget, because there isn't just an endless amount of money, of course. What's the wage budget for NXT? What's the pool of money that I'm playing with? And you'd need all of that information. If you had a guess, seeing how Becky and Charlotte are the highest paid women, around 1.5 million. If you had a guess, seeing how Becky and Charlotte are the highest paid women, around 1.5 million. I don't know what you mean. If you had it, I don't know what that means. What is NXT live on? It's live on TV. I rewatched Cody and Bray's return at Mania and Extreme Rules. All these months on, still gives me goosebumps. Surreal moments in different ways. Bunker said, I think Rhea might win the Rumble and get Bianca, then Becky will win the Chamber to get Ronda at Mania. Amin said, do you think Alexa is going to win the world title? No. I think Bianca's going to take the world championship to WrestleMania. I don't think that Alexa will get it this time. She could get it eventually, but I don't think she gets it at the moment. William said, men are based on body weight, height, looks, values, and marketing value. Neil said, is it on USA? It will be, but it's not on yet. Seeb said, would you agree that Bianca is stale? I don't know what she represents or what her gimmick is. She feels ordinary, if you see what I mean. I think that I think she could be a bit more, you could do something I agree there's something that could be done, but I don't think it's that bad. I think that what she represents is being the fastest, the quickest. She's the EST. And she is someone that's got, she's in a relationship with Montez Ford. We know that, so we know that. Apparently they're working on a reality show, her and Montez, which could be the missing piece, to be honest. A little bit more behind the scenes with Bianca would be very welcome. I think that she's just been involved in a bit of a flat feud, to be honest. I think the Damage Control versus Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa feud was flat. I don't think it's been a very good feud. I don't think that this is something that's really... I thought what she was doing with the likes of Becky, her matches with Bayley were decent, but I think that what she did with Sasha, what she's done with Becky, I think they've been much more enjoyable feuds. But this Damage Control one, it just hasn't really done it for me. So I think when she moves forward and goes into, dare I say, a better feud, this feud with Alexa actually could be good. We're seeing that sit-down interview where she got hit with the vase. That was interesting. That was quite a juicy segment. I feel like that was worth watching. And then, so this feud with Alexa could be good. And then I think we could be looking at a feud with Rhea Ripley, which could be amazing. And then maybe a potential feud with Charlotte down the road. So the future actually looks quite good for Bianca in regards to feuds that are coming up. But not only that, if they do that reality show, that could be the missing piece. That could be just that little bit extra, gives you a bit more depth on Bianca's character. And that could be very interesting. So, yeah, I would say there's something that's stopping her from being the female Roman. She's been a champ since WrestleMania, and I think she's been undeniably the biggest woman of the year in WWE, certainly. I think that her matches with Bayley were all right, but I didn't like the Damage Control against Alexa, Asuka, Bianca feud overall. I thought her match with Becky might be the female match of the year. It was so incredible at WrestleMania. It was absolutely fantastic. Really, really was. And obviously, she won the belt back, which was a big moment for her. But yeah, I'd say the Damage Control feud, which has really run since SummerSlam. So it's been a long time, this feud, It's been months and months and months and months. And it just hasn't been that captivating. So I think let's move on to something different. We're doing that with this feud with Alexa. And next year looks quite juicy. And then that reality show could be the missing part. Becky and Charlotte are paid around $3 million in their contracts. Sasha was asking for that much in her contract, but they said no. So they didn't see her as a top star for the next 5 years, says Courtney. JP said, did you cover the Lacey Evans autism Twitter controversy? No. To be honest, I don't really know a great deal about it. I saw Sean Ross Sapp put a tweet out where he was laying into it. I think he said something like, I don't have any anger towards Lacey personally, but this is a really ill-judged comment. And it was a picture which I think was saying there was no autism back in the 1980s. And there was no attention deficit disorder. And I think she was sort of making out that these things have, I don't know if she's saying they've been fabricated now or they're excuses now, or I don't quite understand what she's saying, to be honest. I don't really quite understand it. I think that's sort of the gist. Is she saying these things weren't around, they weren't a thing, but now, they're a thing. Everyone's got attention deficit disorder, or everyone's got some sort of issue. I don't really get autism, though. I don't get it. I don't get it. I feel like that's something that can be medically actually diagnosed. I think it's just a really stupid comment, to be honest. I think these things weren't recognized. This stuff wasn't diagnosed because it wasn't really something people were aware of or had knowledge of, and obviously as times have gone by, in 1980s were 40 years ago. So over the last 40 years, we've become a lot more aware of these things. and we know how to look out for these things. We know the symptoms of these things. And so, now we do know how to diagnose them and what to look for. So, I don't know, just really weird thing to come out of the blue, innit? Anyone else just think it's just... I look at it and I don't quite get it. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't quite get it, what she's trying to say. I think that's what she's trying to say, is that people are making it up or something. Like, this wasn't a thing and now it's a thing. I have no idea. I know she's deleted it. I think there was a backlash to it and she's deleted it. And I know Sean Ross Sapp was quite off with it as well. But yeah, I mean, I just look at it as being, I don't quite get the comment. If it is what I think it is, I just think it's a bit stupid. And that's it. She was linking processed foods. Okay, anything to do with processed foods. I have not seen this. She was literally just linking processed foods to higher amounts of autism. But people who didn't even see what she said are calling her dumb and stupid, says Liam. Okay, I don't know anything about that. I've seen one image, which was a picture of people sat in the 1980s. It says, in the 1980s, there was no autism, attention deficit disorder, and all of this. And that's what I'm saying. I don't quite understand what she was trying to say with that. So if you're telling me there's more to it where she's talking about processed foods being connected to autism or something, where's this conversation come from? I feel like she's done a really bad job of making the point she wanted to make. Because if the point she wants to make is something to do with processed foods are connected to higher autism, come out and say that then. And, like, don't use a meme, because I've seen a meme that's done the rounds, which seems to have really annoyed and upset people. And it seems like there's been some cross wires then, maybe. Don't know. Don't get it. Seems messy. I'm glad she's deleted it. James said it wasn't that bad. I've seen worse. There's no bats, and no one bats an eyelid. I still don't get it. I still don't get what she said. I haven't heard anything about processed food. I think she's right about chemicals in foods that we eat today. How do you watch NXT live on the website? You can't. What are your thoughts on Montez Ford in the ring? I think he is very good. I think that he could be an excellent solo star. I don't know that he would go on to be a world champion. I think it might be a bit of a Kofi Mania type thing if he does. I don't know that he would go on to be like a champion that would hold the belt for a long time and be the face of the company. He's very good in ring. He's very athletic. He looks great. But so does a lot of other people. Like, I feel like Roman stands out because he's that little bit bigger. He's that little bit bigger. He can, like, stand face to face with Brock and it doesn't look silly, or he doesn't look out of place. Whereas I think if Montez did that, he'd look a bit smaller. And, you know, as a result, I think that... I know Vince isn't around anymore, but I do think there really is something in the bigger guys. Like, I'm all for Johnny Gargano winning the title. I'm all for Montez Ford winning the title. I'm all for the smaller guys getting their opportunities. But I do understand that when you see someone bigger like a Hogan, like an Andre the Giant, like an Undertaker, like a Brock Lesnar, when you see one of those guys like a John Cena, there is an extra level of wow. I do understand that. And I think Montez misses that extra level of wow. You can be smaller, of course, and still get there. I mean, Daniel Bryan still got there, and Rey Mysterio has got there, and Eddie Guerrero got there. So I'm not Vince. I certainly would allow the smaller wrestlers their time to shine, because as long as the stories are good and the matches are good, that's 90% of it, to be honest. But I do understand that I think to be the face of a company, I think you probably do need, or it would be helpful if you was that little bit bigger and you had that bit more size. You was The Rock, you was Roman, you was Brock, you was Hogan, you was Cena. I get it. I do get it. I get why Vince was so drawn to the bigger guys. The airport test. If you walk through an airport, would people turn their heads as you walk past because of how physically impressive you look? And that's the airport test. And I don't know with Montez. I don't know how he does on the airport test. But he's definitely very good. He's solid in ring. He's very passionate. He can talk. I think if they do that reality show with him and Bianca, it's only going to raise his stock further. I think he's definitely a world champion in waiting. And I like him. So, good. WWE need a light heavyweight champion. I'd love that. We've spoke about that on so many occasions. So many times we've sat here and said exactly that, to be honest, that it would be great if there was a light heavyweight championship, because I would also, if I was going to introduce that, I would get rid of one of the WWE or Universal. I think what I would have is I would have the WWE Heavyweight Championship and I'd have the WWE Light Heavyweight Championship, and I would make sure that both belts were treated equal. I'd make sure that both belts were like the WWE and Universal are right now. They are both absolutely level, and the light heavyweight and the heavyweight would be the same. I would have shows where the heavyweight title would be the co-main event and the light heavyweight title would be the main event. Because if your main event is Johnny Gargano versus Rey Mysterio for the light heavyweight title, and then your heavyweight title is Bobby Lashley versus, I don't know, Roman Reigns maybe, or someone, like I would really go all out to make that light heavyweight title feel big deal. And rather than having those two belts that basically mean the same thing, I would go that way, definitely. Because I just think it's going to be very, very difficult for some of the smaller guys to get past a Roman type character. And I think that anyone can go for the heavyweight, but there's a limit as to who can go after the light heavyweight. Like once you go over a certain weight, that's it. You can't go after it. But anyone can still go after the heavyweight. Imagine if Bianca retains her title against Alexa. I think she will. Chill Dude, shout out to you. Kevin said, I heard Mandy is earning more doing the saucy picks than being in WWE. Do you think it will give other female wrestlers consideration to leave following Mandy's choice? Don't know, to be honest, because sometimes it's not about money and sometimes it is. You know, Liv Morgan, for example, I heard a cool story. I think it was Enzo said, I didn't listen to Enzo, but I read a comment from him where he said that he saw her in a Hooters and he really liked the look of her and got talking, and she said she wanted to be a wrestler. And so he helped her. I believe this is true. This is what I've heard him being quoted as saying. He helped her get a tryout with WWE. So for someone like Liv, she has always wanted to be a wrestler. She's not interested. It's not, I mean, making money is, of course, important to everybody, but I don't think that's her motivation. I think she wants to be a wrestler and she wants to be on TV and she wants to go around the world and she wants to wrestle. So I don't know that she is going to be looking at Mandy thinking, I'm going to go off and do that. I think she wants to be a wrestler. And I think there's a lot of women in this company that are here that want to do that, that don't want to take the path that Mandy is taking. They're not interested in that. They want to be wrestlers. There might be some, you know, that might look at it that aren't as passionate about being a wrestler, that would like that kind of income, that are thinking to themselves, that could be a future for me. So there might be a few that certainly have a look at that. It depends how much you want to be a wrestler, and I suppose it depends how well you're being booked. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is, whilst she is away from wrestling, I would imagine that as the months go by, that income will diminish. Like, she's made, say, $500,000 now because of, like, she's the talk of the town. But once she's off TV for a while and people have got something else to move on to, you know, I don't know that $500,000 is going to sustain itself. I think you'll find that will slowly ebb away and she'll then, come down to a more normal income, if you will. Unless she then, signs with Impact and keeps her fame going in some way. But, that's good for her. I mean, I'm pleased that she's making money. I'm pleased that she's doing whatever she wants to do. And, I hope it's a success for her. Do you think Damage Control defend the tag titles? It's going to be a makeshift wrestlers in a four-way, perhaps Indi, Candice, Naomi, Sasha. Who do you think Damage Control defend the tag titles against? I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. I don't know who they've got as a team at the moment. I don't even know if WWE have kind of given that much consideration. So, I don't think there's going to be Sasha and Naomi coming back. Indi hasn't been called up, so I can't say it's going to be Indi. I feel like you're going to have to just cobble together some women that are already on the main roster. I mean, they tried doing that, didn't they, with Tegan and Liv just got thrown together. I mean, that's where the women's division is right now. It's just, we're not doing anything with you, and now you're a team. So we could see Aaliyah we saw Aaliyah and Raquel, didn't we? They weren't doing anything. They just shoved them together. I'm not expecting it to be Naomi and Sasha. I can't say that Indi's coming up. I don't know that she is. The truth is, it's probably just going to be a couple of women that are going to get chucked together, to be honest. Miguel said, I want to see Dean Ambrose versus Daniel Bryan versus Rusev versus Cesaro versus Buddy versus Eric Rowan. Okay. I mean, I don't think you're going to, but I wish you all the best with that dream match. Joey said, do you think Cena will stay for a run or just wrestle on SmackDown? I think he'll just wrestle on SmackDown. I think they've brought him in for I think instead of doing day one, they are doing a big SmackDown and then they're going to do a big Raw, apparently. So they've already announced Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins for Raw on January 2nd. So it seems like they're going to go quite big with that. And I think they're going big, obviously, with this SmackDown on December 30th. So they're going big with that as well. So, yeah, I think we're going to get a couple of big shows. And I think he's come back for that, and that's it. Could he be at the Rumble? Maybe. There's rumors that he might be at WrestleMania, but then there's also rumors that he might not, and that he's actually going to be working and he's not going to be free. He's not going to be available for WrestleMania. So, no, I don't expect this to be a run. I think it's a one-off thing to try and make these shows a bit of a replacement for day one. Do you think the remaining two members of Toxic Attraction could be called up as a tag team? Definitely. I think they need women's tag teams. I think these two are good, credible. They've been invested in a lot. I don't think there's a need to break them apart. So yeah, I think calling them up as a tag team would make a lot of sense. Do you think if Bray is all the characters, people will be let down wanting Wyatt Six? I don't think so. I think Wyatt Six, we've never known what it is. And I think that if it turns out Wyatt Six is all Bray, I think that Bray fans will be into that. I think that you will have your answer as to what Wyatt Six is. And I think that if it's all Bray, I don't think that's a letdown. If anything, it's interesting because all of a sudden now we don't know what version of Bray we're going to get when we see him. I mean, he could be The Fiend. He could be Uncle Howdy. He could be Wyndham. He could be Funhouse Bray. He could be Cult Leader Bray. Like, there's so many different versions of Bray that he could be now that it would be interesting. You know, we've got someone here that's got clearly mental health issues, that's struggling with split personalities, that's got some very different personalities that he can go to when he needs to go to them. And I think from a storytelling point of view, as long as the stories are good, I think people will be into that. I think people will be fine with that. And there's nothing to say that he still doesn't join up with some people as well. I mean, there's rumors of Bo coming back. We know that Vincent and Dutch have had tryouts in NXT. It's believed they were there for tryouts in NXT. So we believe that Vincent and Dutch are coming in. And we know that Bo is coming in. And it seems like Alexa is joining back up with him. So even if Wyatt Six turns out to be personalities within Bray, it still doesn't mean that we don't get a small Wyatt family of some description as well. But I wouldn't be disappointed. The question is, what is Wyatt Six? And is it going to be used in WWE? Because we don't even know if it's going to be used in WWE. I think if you get an answer to that, then that's it. That's your answer. And I don't think people should be disappointed with that. I really don't. Days on Christmas Day, I'm going to dress as Santa at an old people's home. Okay. You might want to ask permission first, because it might be something that they're not really interested in you doing, to be honest, buds. But fair play. That's all I can say. Fair play. What was your favorite pay-per-view this year? I would probably lean WrestleMania Night 1. I did think SummerSlam was excellent as well. Probably one of those. WrestleMania Night 1 or SummerSlam. They're the two that really stand out. I felt a bit let down by Clash at the Castle. I think it's because it was having to follow SummerSlam 92, which was actually not a great show. But the main event is so iconic. And the imagery of that main event and what it meant and being at Wembley and all of that, like, it was so iconic. And you can easily make the argument that Clash at the Castle was just as iconic, but I think that main event really lets it down. I don't mind Roman winning, but I just think to then have Tyson Fury jump in the ring and shake Roman's hand after Roman has just cheated Drew just does not make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Why would Tyson Fury do that? It's like a heel turn by Tyson Fury. But he shook his hand. It seemed like they didn't know what to do. It seemed like they got a little bit lost, and he ended up shaking his hand. Roman walks off with Solo Sikoa, and then they break into a song, which apparently we were not meant to see. We weren't meant to get that. That was meant to just be for the live crowd. So the whole ending was so weird and dare I say botched that, we ended up getting just really bizarre moments. Just bizarre. I mean, that's how I would sum up Clash at the Castle. And then I was not the biggest fan of like WrestleMania Night 2. WrestleMania Night 2 I thought was all right, but I thought it just was considerably behind WrestleMania Night 1. I thought Night 1 absolutely eclipsed it. I can't really remember much about the Rumble, I think, is that where Ronda came back? I'd have to go back and have a bit of a refresh, but the two that come to mind is Night 1 of WrestleMania and SummerSlam. I think the imagery of Brock picking up the ring with the tractor, I mean, that main event was just crazy. People were going crazy about that Brock Roman match, People loved it, and the imagery from it was insane. So, yeah, loved that. The Becky and Bianca match at the start was fantastic. And then, of course, Bayley coming back, and oh my God, here's Dakota, and oh my God, here's EO, and they were all massive moments and big shocks, and just felt like it had this great pace going throughout it. And then, of course, Logan Paul, doing a fantastic job against The Miz. It was good. It was a really solid show. And then, of course, Edge returning as well. Those vignettes at the time, which had been a bit Bray-esque, led towards Edge coming back. And so he got involved as well. And it was decent. It was a good show. The Rumble was terrible. Brock won, said Joey. Wyatt Six is going to be Bray, Bliss, Rowan, Viking Raiders. The crowd singing at Bayley at Clash at the Castle was epic. Yeah, that was fun. What do you think of the idea of Bray being in the Rumble as multiple characters like Foley, said Chill Dudes? I don't mind it. I think that for him to come out as different personas would be pretty fun. I mean, we have seen it before with Foley. I don't mind it. Yeah, I mean, it's not one that I'm crazy about, mainly because we've already seen it. I've seen it with Mick Foley. So I'd feel like it's a little bit of a rehash of that. But we haven't seen it, that often. So for someone else to do it now would be cool. I'd be down with it. Surely Naomi is going to come back. Maybe she's not interested, giving AEW a look, but at the same time, her husband is there. He has a very hectic schedule. Surely working somewhere else would mean less time together. Yeah, it probably would mean less time together. I don't know. I mean, I feel like she's just enjoying time at the moment. I think she's just enjoying being away. And who knows, perhaps she's done it. Perhaps she's done wrestling, and perhaps she's happy with it, and that's it. It's done. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like she's going to come back. I feel like maybe the Rumble or something could be where she comes back, but equally, she could be satisfied. She might be like, she's had a hell of a career. I think she's been in WWE for over 10 years. So I think she could have done it. So she might just be living her life. And actually, that's the vibe I got from Sasha, that she was just living her life. I mean, you were seeing her going to film premieres, stretching classes, and just meeting up with like friends and like just doing what she wanted, basically. And I think Sasha loves doing that. And you can understand why. I mean, if you're a multi-millionaire, which she is, and you've got money, but you rarely get a chance to spend it or actually, like, you know, go out, I should imagine it is very enjoyable to have a good few months where you just let your hair down and do what you want. So it feels like both of them have done that. And then 2023 is where I think we could see Naomi come back. And as we know, it looks like Sasha's going to go to New Japan. I got a sneaky feeling WWE has got an agreement with New Japan, so watch this space, said Chill Dude. Amin said, when Asuka come back to wrestling? When will Asuka come back to wrestling? Well, I mean, it feels like when she comes back, she will be a bit darker. She put a video up, actually, of, I don't know if you watched it, it was on her YouTube channel. It was of her saying that she'd forgotten something. She didn't talk. There was just a thing on screen that said, I'm having to go back to Japan because I've forgotten something. And you just watch her silently walking through an airport, getting on a plane, getting in a taxi, getting to an apartment, picking up a bag that seemed to have some gear in it. You couldn't quite make out the gear, though. And that was it. And she doesn't say a word. Like, normally she's like, hi, guys. Like this, and like she puts like graphics, like, you know, cute little animals or whatever. None of that. This was all super serious. Like, I'm going here. I need to do this. Now here's me in the taxi. And no talking or anything. And she's been putting a lot of Instagram photos out of her just in a hotel, just like smiling into a camera. The only reason I know that is because on the Wrestling Escape Pod, which is the podcast we do each week, basically what we do is we look at the best WWE Instagram pictures of the week, and we joke around with them and we have fun with them, and we score them out of 10. And it's just a fun like show, to be honest. It's I'm loving the Wrestling Escape Pod at the moment, and we did it today. It gets recorded on a Tuesday and then it airs on a Wednesday, and it's got its own channel, and it'll go up before AEW tomorrow. And I was saying, I really hope Asuka is in this week's collection. And she wasn't. Spoiler, she wasn't. And apparently she hasn't put anything on Instagram. So I think what we're seeing from her and her output is we're seeing that changing as well. So I think she's changing her character. She's changing her social media output. And I think we're going to get something really special soon. So I'm very excited. I've said before, whenever someone puts a tease out on social media, I don't really buy into it. I don't buy into it because there's been so many times where something's been teased and you look at it and you go, no, that's not happening. Look at Eva Marie right now. I reckon Eva Marie's just trolling. I don't buy into Eva Marie coming back to WWE at all. I don't buy it, right? I don't buy it. So I don't expect Eva Marie to come back. She's got herself trending again, just like when she threw Lily into a trash bin. And people thought that meant something, and it meant nothing. And she got herself trending then as well. So, you know, she knows how to get people talking. She knows how to get herself trending. And as I said, I don't think there's anything to that. But, yeah, with the Asuka thing where she was teasing bringing Kana back and going a bit darker with her character, my reaction was the same. I'll believe it when something else happens, when we actually get something. Well, we did see a darker Asuka during Raw last week, and now we haven't seen her this week, but her social media is starting to change now. So I am definitely keeping an eye on that situation. Right, we are Live with NXT. We are live. There is Roxanne Perez. Isaiah, hello. Shout out to you. WrestleBuzz said, just want to say thanks for streaming. I work nights and you are my source to stay in the know. I hope you have a great holiday and cheers. WrestleBuzz, shout out to you, my friends. I hope you also have a great holiday. Have a great holiday season. Has there ever been a wrestler that you hated when they debuted, but after some time you ended up liking them, said Alex. That's a great question. Is there a wrestler that I hated when I debuted and then I ended up liking? I mean, I can't think of one I hated. Can't think of one that I hated. Someone I hated and I ended up liking. I mean, the only one that I can think is Cena, who, when Cena debuted, I wasn't that taken with him. I mean, in all fairness, he was the prototype. And I just remember him being very... Bleh. I mean, he came out and he was just a bit... Bleh. He was just like... You kind of looked at him and you could see there was like some potential there, but there was so much else that was going on at the time that was way more exciting that Cena just didn't really move the dial. And actually, that prototype gimmick, it didn't work for him. He was on the verge of getting cut. I mean, I don't think I was alone in not feeling it. He was on the verge of getting cut. And it was only when Steph heard him rapping at the back of a coach that she was like, do you think you can do that on the show? And he was like, yeah. And then that's when Thugonomics was born and boom, Cena went to the moon. So, but I didn't hate him. He just didn't do anything for me. He didn't move the dial. So I can't think of one I hated and then changed my mind on. Don't know if you've got an example of that. Put it in the chat. I'd be interested to know someone that you hated, someone that you really didn't like that changed your minds. I'm trying to think of what I thought about The Miz. I don't think I hated The Miz. I mean, I've grown over time to really appreciate The Miz and what he does and what he brings to the show. I don't think I hated The Miz. There's been times where I've hated The Miz, but I don't think I hated him at the start. Tricky. I'd be interested to know if anyone could come up with an answer to that. Right, here's Carmelo versus Axiom. I used to hate the Mountie. Never ended up liking him, though, said WrestleBuzz. I always loved the Mountie. I always loved the Mountie. Mountie was someone that I really enjoyed because... Well, I never knew what a Mountie was, so to find out it was the Canadian police, I was like, oh? Or like, it's not, I don't think it's quite the Canadian police, it's like certain parts of Canada, maybe. But his feud with the boss man was a lot of fun. And him getting sent to prison and everything. Do you remember when he had to spend the night in prison? Let go, I'm the Mountie! He was shouting, I'm the Mountie, as he's being... like dragged away and like he's like kicking out, desperately trying to escape. I thought that was so fun. Yeah, I didn't mind the Mountie. Jake said, I missed the donut. I'm sorry. Just chatting away. Let's have a look. I thought Extreme Rules was really good, says Jake. Jake, shout out to you. Jake giving a nod to Extreme Rules. Big John Studd was annoying, says Unbroken. Never hated Big John Studd. I mean, Big John Studd wasn't really... I mean, he played a giant fairly well. He was not very, like, explosive and athletic. But he was a big guy. He did have that wow factor. When Big John Studd came down, you'd be like, whoa, he's a big boy. I remember him being in, like, Battle Royals. Obviously, his feud with Andre and the Body Slam Challenge. I never hated Big John Studd, but he never moved the dial for me. But then, I didn't see much of Big John Studd. I mean, I can only really judge him by the pay-per-views that I saw him at and any clips that I've seen of him. So I don't know that I saw enough of him to really form an opinion of like hating Big John Studd. It's an interesting name, though. Of all the names, I didn't expect that one to be mentioned. I hated Mankind when he attacked The Undertaker, but it turns out Foley is okay, said Nick. Ziggler and Gargano are great wrestlers, says James. There is something missing. We didn't see Matt Riddle. He's not around, is he? I mean, he got attacked by Solo Sikoa and he's out for 6 weeks. They said that on commentary, so don't expect to see Matt Riddle till we get closer to the Rumble. Big Time Baxter says CM Punk is already teasing stuff on social media with pictures of him and FTR backstage at AEW. I think Tony Khan wants Punk back because he was a big draw that gave AEW exposure. I don't doubt for a second he wants Punk back. Not for a second do I doubt that. I think he loves CM Punk, and I think he would love to try and get them all working on the same page. Definitely. I just don't know that CM Punk will do that, to be honest. Against the ropes goes Axiom, and he grabs a hold of the arm of Carmelo Hayes and drags Carmelo Hayes down. So we are up and running with NXT, and we've got New Day against Briggs and Jensen coming up, but we've got Carmelo against Axiom right now. Kian, shout out to you. Says, I'm not feeling too well. I'll give you an update when I'm better. Kian, shout out to you, dudes. Have a great Christmas if I don't see you before. I added those 80 shows on the network you found. I'm down to 18 shows on Fight, said James. James, shout out to you. I actually was watching one of them earlier. It was cool. Commentators were Vince McMahon and Bruno Sammartino. And they were... first match was Dominic DeNucci and someone against the Wild Samoans. Or just the Samoans, as they were being called. And it was really interesting. It was good. I didn't get a chance to watch much of it. I just watched that one match, and then I had to turn it off. So I probably saw about 15, 20 minutes of one of the episodes. So different, though. So different. Like, thinking that's basically, you're watching what Raw would have been in the 1980s, from 1980. That was Raw from 1980. Like, it's, if you think about it that way, it's just crazy. It's crazy. No entrance music, no entrance way, no barricades. Looks like wooden seats. Ring steps were wooden at the side of the ring, not steel in the corner. Ropes were a lot looser. No logos on the turnbuckle pads. And referee as well was just sort of like leaning in the corner and just like, honestly, it looked like he could have had a cigarette as well. Just waiting for it to start. It was like proper casual, just leaning, waiting. You know, like how the refs now are like super professional. Are you ready? Are you ready? Like everything's so choreographed, and it's like here the ref was just slumped in the corner waiting for the match to start. So I saw, like, I was looking at that. There was lots of empty seats as well. Vince even said at one point, it's like, we are expecting a capacity crowd, but the fans are still filing their way in. But you could see a lot of empty seats. Obviously, that just wouldn't happen now. They'd, like, move people around or they'd fill those seats or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, and the venue didn't feel that big as well. I have no idea where the venue was. It didn't feel like an arena. It certainly wasn't a 10,000 arena or anything like this. It felt smaller, much, much smaller. But yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff like that. When I watch shows like that, we're at commercial break, by the way. When I watch shows like that, these are the just little bits that really, like, you stand out. Like, this is what Raw was 40 years ago. Over 40 years ago, because it was from 1980. And we were talking about this yesterday. Championship Wrestling was WWE's first syndicated show. So that means that it's their first proper big broadcast that was on a regular basis. And so, as we said, you know, it's like their first Raw. And it started in the 70s, but sadly they haven't put any of the 70s up. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. Be brilliant if they do. But yeah, the wrestling was so-so, to be honest. You watch it and it's like, it's a different pace, isn't it, back then in the day? I mean, you can get some really great matches from back then, of course you can, but this Wild Samoans one was not a great example of it. So the wrestling itself was a bit slow, but there was more than enough to, look at and keep me entertained. So yeah, I was loving it. Would you be interested in doing a stream about 2023 wrestling predictions? Don't know, to be honest. Feel like that might make a better video rather than a stream. Don't know. It's never crossed my mind. They were the same matches, says Nachos. IRS hated that guy, said Christopher. Who do you think Uncle Howdy is? I think Bray Wyatt is Uncle Howdy, but I am open-minded to it. But I said the other day when we first saw him, I thought I didn't know who it was. You saw like the side of his face, and it didn't feel like Bray. And that's when we first saw him, and he went howdy, and the camera panned down, and we just saw a bit of his face, and he went howdy, and then it panned back up again. So at first I thought that I didn't know who it was, and there was lots of theories. And then as soon as we saw a bit more of him, then I was like, that's Bray. That's Bray. I felt really comfortable that it was Bray. It sounded like Bray. The body shape looked like Bray. Just felt like it was Bray. So nothing has really changed my mind. I understand Bray was in the ring this week, but as we've said, I think that could be Bray trying to just throw us off the scent, basically, by getting, someone to come out dressed as Uncle Howdy and pretend to be Uncle Howdy as a way of trying to, throw LA Knight off the scent. I think that is as realistic as it being Bo or Dutch or someone else. So I'm still of the opinion that it's Bray. But as I said, I'm keeping an open mind on it. Right, we've come back from commercial break. We're 12 minutes into the show. And obviously we're seeing Carmelo go in toe-to-toe with Axiom. A couple of high flyers in the ring. Knee coming in there by Axiom. And again, we should be getting to the business end of this one. Should be getting towards the conclusion of this match. Got plenty of stuff coming up this week, so don't know that we're going to be sticking on this too long. Right, we've got Axiom on his feet. Big chop coming in by Axiom, driving Carmelo back against the ropes. Drop kick there by Axiom. I would like to see a 2023 predictions video. Who will become world champions, have big years, etc., says Harley. Bill said it probably was Bray. They more than likely changed the wrestler in the costume. They did that for Black Scorpion and Yellow Dog back in the day. I hate when you buy ice cream that needs to be left out for 10 minutes because you bend a spoon like Uri Geller if you try to scoop it out, said Tortnight. Tortnight, hello. Hope you're well. I heard that Chris Masters could be returning at the Rumble, said William. Yes. There is a rumour doing the rounds of a few names that could be in the Royal Rumble. Chris Masters was one. I think that's been fueled by Chris Masters, though, to be honest. I saw Chris Masters posting a video of a Rumble countdown, and then it hit his music, and I can't remember the comment. It was something like, just imagine, or something like that. So I feel like that might have been fueled by him. Crossface being applied here by Carmelo. Rolled over by Axiom. Didn't quite get his shoulder up there. That might have been a 3. It's a lovely snap German there by Axiom as he went through the ropes. Axiom climbing up, looking for a crossbody. Lands on Carmelo. 1, 2... Didn't hook the leg for some reason. Grabs the arm. Armbar. Grabs the arm. Now looking for a triangle. Looking for a triangle there. He's got... It looks tight as well, Looks good. That looks tight. Carmelo Hayes was pulling at Axiom's mask. He's trying to get up to his feet. He's picking up Axiom. He's looking for a sit-down powerbomb, and he gets it. And manages to break out of that hold. And again, he gets caught. There's the triangle again. Axiom has got that in quite tight. It's not as tight. It looks like Carmelo has been able to create a bit of space. Now he's pulling at that mask again, smashing Axiom's head into the ring mat. Do you think Triple H is falling into a trap that Tony Khan did by signing fired superstars? I think it's really hard to know, to be honest. It's hard to say. I keep saying this kind of thing, like, without knowing what his budget is and without knowing what he is looking to try and do. Like, if I was Triple H, I would sit down and I'd be like, right, how many wrestlers do I need for Raw? How many do I need for SmackDown? How many guys do I need? How many girls do I need? How many tag teams do I need? What's my optimum? Like, because I need to make sure that I'm using everyone, but equally I need to cover any injuries or suspensions or whatever. So you always need that little bit more than you probably do need, because there's always going to be someone injured. There's always going to be someone that's on holiday, because, you know, wrestlers have weeks off. Hurricanrana. So, yeah, I would be looking at that. And there's every chance that he's done that work and found that he's a bit light in certain areas. And so it could be that he's just trying to get to Trick Williams getting involved. Trick Williams smashing Axiom down. Double knees. Down goes Axiom. Going up top, Carmelo in position. Leg drop, back of the head. And that should do it. So, is he falling into that trap? Maybe. You have to remember, though, there could also be some people in WWE that he doesn't rate. There could be some people that he's, once their contracts are done, he's going to look to part ways with. You know, it could be that he's just not interested in, say, Bobby Roode. Could be that he's just not interested in Drew Gulak and just not interested in Los Lotharios. And he could end up losing those. And he's got their replacements already in, which would be Hit Row. And it would be Bronson Reed and people like that. So it's really hard. It's hard to know kind of like what he is, how he's structuring it. But I'd think there would be some sort of structure. I don't think he's just lost his mind and he's like, I want this person, I want that person, I want this person, I want that person. And he's not thinking about how it will affect things, you know? So Trick Williams gets involved and it results in the win for Carmelo Hayes. Edward, shout out to you, buds. Hope you are well. I hope Mrs. Edward is well. 9 months. Have a good Christmas, everyone, says Edwards. Edward, shout out to you, buds. Right. Okay, so Grayson Waller wants his title match tonight. Braun's not even here. So he's issuing the challenge. Meet me in the ring tonight. Grayson Waller wants his opportunity. Right, Nikkita Lyons and Zoey Starks. That's coming up next. Remember 6 months ago, WWE leaked spoilers about making one of the main shows all women. Maybe we're slowly moving towards that. I feel Charlotte would be good as Gigi and JC mouthpiece for a bit when they go onto the main roster, said Bonkers. Chill Dude said, we still haven't seen his vision and his draft. A1 said, Grayson Waller looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Bahamas, shout out to you. It's not Hit Row, it's Botch Row. Botch Row. Indeed. Imagine Matt Riddle and Randy Orton come back to Raw together, said Amin. Unbroken said, I've sent you a Mr. Hanky in the mail. Open it carefully. See, this is exactly why I don't give out my address. This is exactly why I don't give out my address. Right, we are at commercial break. We will be going over to the next match, which apparently is going to be Nikkita, Lyons, and Zoey Stark. That's had quite a build, in all fairness. It's had quite the build. Did Bron get pictures leaked, said Chill Dudes? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Sonya will be put with JC and Gigi. That would make sense, wouldn't it? That would make sense. Raw said Waller is going to be an Impact player for sure. William said Waller had better watch his arse. Big Dom might show up and clean his clock. I hope Roxanne is going to lose that title soon, said King Juju. Yeah, she's popular. She won't be for everyone. But I don't know that they'll take it off her just yet. It's a good opportunity for her to show that she deserves it, though. Nikkita and Lyons Simps rise! Everyone loves a good Christmas poo, said Chris. You need a P.O. box. I do need a P.O. box. Although the conversation we've just had is not going to make me rush to get that sorted, in all fairness. Just saying. Right, we are just about to go back. NXT is... I don't know if it's pre-recorded. Someone told me earlier it was pre-recorded this week. So they might have spoilers out there for this. I seriously don't know. I haven't. If it is, I ain't seen any. I genuinely haven't seen any. Nikkita might be hot, but she botches a lot. Nice rhyme. Nice rhyme. Big Dom. Merry Christmas, says Aaron. Aaron, Merry Christmas to you. Oh, Aaron.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
King Juju said, have you ever been to a WrestleMania? No. I would be interested in going, but I've said this before. I'd be way more interested in going to an Access. Way more interested in going to an Access. I would be so much more excited at being able to see some of the Hall of Fame merch and just do like some of the stuff at Access. There's loads you can do. You can go inside an elimination chamber. They did that before. I mean, I've never been in a ring. So just being able to step into a ring would be like, that'd be amazing. I'd do that over going to WrestleMania. You're going to tell Dijak to stay out of our business, said Tony. You want me to do it now? Yes, now. Here's Grayson. Grayson's looking for Bron Breakker. On. Right, here's Nikkita Lyons then. So he's been told to go and tell. I'm sure that's going to go well. So Stacks told to tell Dijak to stay away. Nikkita Lyons just made her way out, and Zoey Starks attacked her, but she already knew it was going to happen. Or she seemed to have it scouted fairly well. Getting driven into the corner there by Nikkita Lyons. Lyons going over in the corner. Forearm strike there by Lyons. Shots to the midsection by Lyons. Heavy shots to Starks. Starks trying to push her away. Starks jumping outside the ring. Nikkita Lyons, she just does not do it for me. I just cannot get into Nikkita Lyons. Zoey is going to win this. What if you do both? Get Platinum VIP pass to WrestleMania where you can get in the ring after. Huh? The Platinum VIP pass allows you to get into the WrestleMania ring. Is that true? I've never heard of that. Is that true? That's amazing. I've never heard of that at all. So fans are allowed to get into the ring at WrestleMania if you've got a Platinum VIP pass. I mean, I can only imagine that's thousands and thousands, but I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest. Imagine Grayson Waller calling out Bron Breakker, and we get Jobberco. Me also Daze botched too many times, said Bonkers. I thought it was a diamond pass, said King Juju. Didn't know it was any pass. Retribution said, can you give me a hug? I love and miss you so much. I cried today over a stupid girl. What are you doing, Retribution? Shouldn't go crying over a stupid girl. I'm sure it'll be all right, mate. Christmas time, innit? Christmas time, plenty of fun things to focus on. Like nice food, presents, family time. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, mate. Chris said, Nikkita Lyons is annoying, but at least she's not Lacey Evans getting repackaged every week. Rumour is Triple H could make Kaylee Ray a version of Babyface Bailey, said Chill Dudes. The Beach Kevin said, has MJF been out yet? Not yet. Not yet. I'm desperately sat here waiting for MJF. He's taking his sweet time. Daze, what's your opinion on Sanity reuniting? I don't mind. I'm not against it, but I'm not crazy for it either. Like, Sanity were fine, but they were fine. They never really did much for me. They were in NXT, and they were fine. And it was kind of like, let's see what they do on the main roster. And then they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything on the main roster. I think they got fired before they could really do anything. So I sort of feel like there's a bit of potential there. And it'd be interesting to see what they do with them. I don't know. I feel like in a world of Judgment Day and a world of OC and a world of Bloodline and a world of, I don't know, Legado del Fantasma, like, are Sanity going to stand out? I mean, they might do. They might do. It's what we'll have to see. I ain't got high hopes for it. I don't think it's going to be an amazing signing that's going to change the direction of a brand. Let's put it that way. I think they're just going to be another group that get added. But I ain't, like, against it. I'm not horrified by it. Shoulder up by Nikkita. Good Jeff Jarrett podcast today. He talked about his return in 97, says Matthew. Sanity might be on Raw where Nikki Cross is, says King Juju. Shot there by Nikkita. She grabs Zoey. Samoa drop. There's a nice energy to this. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Zoey. Zoey getting a shoulder up. Nikkita trying to get up to her feet. Zoey Starks gets up to her feet. Nikkita around the back of Zoey. Back elbow there by Zoey. Going for a kick to the midsection. Gets the ropes. She picks her up. Nope, can't get anything from it. Kick there by Nikkita. Zoey goes down. Zoey going back into the corner as Nikkita charges over. Forearm strike by Nikkita. Zoey goes into the corner, up, over the top, round the back of Nikkita. Nikkita with a roll up. No. Reversal. That's nice. And she cheated by grabbing the ropes. It's a win for Zoey Starks. Zoey Starks wins. Zoey Starks wins by reversing that pin and grabbing a hold of the ropes. It's a win for Zoey Starks. I mean, it ain't clean. Is Cora Jade looking all moody? Moody Jade. Moody Jade backstage. Roxanne Perez is the luckiest person alive, says Cora Jade. Wendy Chu attacks. Wendy attacks Cora backstage. We got a brawl backstage. Guys, a lot shouting. Here's Toxic Attraction. Gigi Dolan. JC Jane. Man. I wondered if there'd be something that they would wear, like black armbands or something. These two could be good, just as a tag team. Toxic Attraction making their way down. So yeah, I wondered if there's going to be any mention of, like, Mandy at all. Or if that's it. Jade has a Daze hat on. Right, here we go then. Toxic versus Kayden and Katana versus Ivy and Tatum. Bron Breakker is the luckiest person alive. What brand would you see Mandy go to? AEW or Impact? Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, do I care about watching Mandy Rose? Because if I don't, put her on Impact because I don't watch Impact. If I do, put her to AEW because I do watch that. And actually, I don't know, you know. I don't know. She's never been someone that's really moved the dial for me. She's never been someone where I get excited like, oh, well, yes, it's the Mandy match next. I've never felt that way. I've never been, coming up next, the Mandy match next. I think like the only time I've ever felt that is maybe during the NXT run where I've thought she could lose the belt. Like, oh, it's her against Alba Fire next. But I've been more excited about Mandy potentially losing the title than it's a Mandy match. And do you remember her feud with Sonya when she was on the main roster? I thought that was pretty good. Her with Otis was fun. But that is it. Like, there really has not been much that I can tell you that Mandy has ever really excited me with. Like, yeah. But what's the alternatives? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not loads. There's not loads of great women out there that you would want to watch that are, like, coming through. So, put her on Impact. Put her on Impact. I'm sure she can do some stuff there. Yeah, I don't think she's done enough. For me to go to AEW. Do I want to on a Wednesday watch a Mandy Rose match? I'm going to go no. Put her on Impact. Mandy can do a Lana and just make money through other revenues. Do you agree that Cora Jade could be the woman to beat Roxanne? Yeah. Mandy has excited me, if you know what I'm saying. I know what you're saying, The Beach, Kevin. I heard that she had increased her asking price for her pictures and her content. Apparently it was $30. Now it's $40. So, fair play, you know. She's trying to make that extra dollar. 25% increase now that she's gone from WWE. I miss God's greatest creation, says King Juju. WWE has got so many factions, we could see 6-man titles, said Chill Dudes. Mandy is better than half of the AEW women's division, says James. For me, though, it's about do I get excited about her matches? And the answer is no. And I don't know that that's going to change. So I'm not going to, just because she might already be better than what's in AEW, replacing someone that I'm not bothered about seeing with someone I'm not bothered about seeing doesn't really make much of a step forward for me. You might be able to do something with her. I mean, I'm not saying she's terrible. But I do not get excited for her matches. So what I need to do is find women to put into AEW that I would be excited for their matches. And, there's some women there. Jamie Hayter, I like her. Britt Baker, I like her. Tony Storm can be all right. Could be all right. There is work that needs to be done with that women's division, though. Right, we are going back to NXT. We've got Fallon Henley, who's struggling with bills at the bar. Got to keep our fingers crossed. We need to put our heads together and think of some. Here's Kiana James walking into the bar. They're already planning what they're going to do with the bar. What the hell are you doing here? Kayden should take the women's title. Only reason Mandy held it is Triple H. Okay, so... This bar owes thousands. You don't have enough to pay for it. Such a weird story. We've got an NXT wrestler that's going to buy a bar of another NXT wrestler, and their bar's gone into debt. It's a bit different. I'm not hating on it. It's fun that it's a bit different. So they're proposing a match, and if Kiana wins, then she can get the bar at like a reduced price, apparently. Okay. So we've got Kiana, and we've got Fallon, and we've got some bar drama. Daze, do you think Messi could win the Euros? He'll struggle. Here is Kayden and Katana dancing their way down. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. I've never had an oh my god moment. I can't wait to see Mandy Rose versus this person. She doesn't speak dream matches, says Big Time Baxter. How interesting would it be if Toxic Attraction wins the next match if they continue to push them? Be good. I mean, the only thing I would say is that they don't really need to win the women's tag titles again. They've been there. They've done that. I mean, really, what else do we need to do with Toxic Attraction? I mean, we've already got to the point where they were included in a tournament on the main roster for the women's tag belts. So I feel like they're already main event or main roster ready. I don't think they need them. I would be surprised if we put the tag titles onto them. Okay, we're starting off with Kayden and Gigi. We are underway. No doubt, Alexa has a very motivated fan base. Kiana dropped that see you next Tuesday, says Jim. That's interesting, actually. Is that show going to be taped, or is that going to be live? Wrestler Andy said, what's your favourite television bar? The Nag's Head, Cheers, or Rover's Return? Favourite television bar? I feel like that needs thought. Because I feel like I could probably say something and then be like, oh my God, why didn't I say that? Favorite television bar. You never said the Queen Vic, did you? Never said the Queen Vic. You didn't say the Woolpack. I don't know, you know. It's a really great question. It wouldn't be Cheers. I haven't actually watched loads of Cheers. I've seen Cheers, but I have not sat and watched loads of Cheers. I feel like not really bothered about soaps. So Rover's Return wouldn't do it. Nag's Head, would that do it? I feel like there's probably a bar that's super obvious that I'm going to just be forgetting. And I'll be like, oh, I should have said that. The Winchester. How I Met Your Mother's got a good bar in it. Never watched it. The Friends bar. They didn't really have a bar, did they? They had a coffee shop. They didn't really have a bar. Moe's Tavern. Oh, maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's Moe's. Maybe it's Moe's. I mean, I bet it's a rubbish bar. You can actually go into it in Universal Studios, you know. They've got a Moe's Tavern at Universal Studios in Orlando. And apparently it's quite expensive for the beer. And I saw a guy go in and review. What he does is he reviews pints. And he went to Moe's Tavern in Orlando at Universal. And he tried it. And he said it was just a bit flat and it just wasn't very good. It was just really, like, uninspiring, and it was really expensive. So it got a bad score. But I think you would sort of expect that from Moe's. I mean, I would be disappointed if it was amazing. If you went to Moe's and had, like, an amazing beer, you'd be like, what? I think it's meant to be a bit rubbish and a bit flat. I mean, you know, and expensive. Really, you're just getting the full Simpsons experience. You know, it's what Moe would want. He's selling an inferior product at a high markup. That is so Moe. That is so Moe. So, I don't know. The thing is that you'd want to be there because you'd want to bump into like Homer and Barney and hang out with the guys. But then equally, it's a rubbish bar. It's a rubbish bar. And Homer would be rubbish company as well. There'd be it wouldn't be fun. It seems fun, but it wouldn't be fun. You'd probably stand a good chance getting shot by Moe. He's got a shotgun under the bar. And he's a bit trigger happy, is old Moe. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Moe's is the one. Moe's would suck, says William. The Drunken Clam in Family Guy. Nag's Head is for Only Fools and Horses. Yeah, Nag's Head, Only Fools and Horses, for those that don't know that. It's probably the most popular UK comedy ever. Like the Christmas specials used to get like 20-odd million views. Which, you know, considering we're a country of 60 million, is like a third of the country would watch the show at Christmas. The Drunken Clam, nah. Simpsons is clear, a Family Guy for me. Cheers Bar is the only bar that matters. Sheamus and Cesaro is my favourite bar, said Chill Dudes. Happy holidays, Hassan. Shout out to you. No bar competes with the Klansman. Probably the best barman ever. What's that? What's the Klansman from? Don't think I know that. I'm struggling. Did you buy Duff Beer? Do you know what? I did. When I used to live in Southampton, there is a picture of me with some Duff. Because I went into the local like co-op. It's like an off-license thing. It's I don't know. I suppose you would have them in America. It's like where you get your newspapers from, and they sell. It's like a 7-Eleven type place. So like, you know, I went into one of those, and they had like fridges of alcohol, and I saw they were selling some Duff, which I'd never seen before. I have no idea why. In Southampton, in this random place, they were selling Duff beer. But I bought it. I can't remember anything about it. It must have been good. I can't remember anything about it. It must have been great. But yeah, there is a picture of me with some cans of Duff that I managed to find in Southampton when I lived there. So I have tried it, and I don't remember it being anything special. I don't remember anything about it. Hold up. Are you telling me you've never watched Still Game? No, I've never. I know of it, but I've never watched it. That's the Scottish one, isn't it? Isn't that the Scottish one with, like, Scottish people? I'm scared of Scottish people, in all fairness. You've got to be careful around Scottish people. You really do. They get very aggressive at a drop of a hat. And they're always drunk. Did you know a lot of bar scenes on WWE TV were in Tim White's bar? Yes. I did read that when he passed away, that they'd done a lot there. Blobby's pub was Crinkly Bottom. What about the Phoenix Club? What, Phoenix Nights? That could be all right. That might have been all right. I never would have thought of that, but that might be all right. Seems like a nice family pub, down to earth. I should imagine the beers at a very reasonable price. You know, cheap entertainment, nice night out. Yeah, that might be all right. But I can't deny the fact we're always drunk, says Melissa Rose. Yeah. Just saying what everyone's thinking, Melissa Rose. I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Right, we've got, I'll go with Mose. It's the most iconic. Right, down goes Tatum Paxley. 1, 2. Oh, Ivy Nile makes the save. Ivy Nile with the save. Big kick. Nile goes down. Super kick there by Kayden. Oh my God, everyone's getting super kicked. Super kicks everywhere. Literally everyone is down in this match. Everyone is down. Now we've got the crowd breaking out in an NXT chant. NXT. NXT. So Katana to getting a 2 count as Ivy makes the save. What is it? This is awesome, chant. This is awesome. NXT Vengeance Day is headed to the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina on February 4th. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com. Ivy Nile going for a pin to kick out by Gigi. Forearm strike as Ivy Nile goes down. Ivy Nile grabbed by the hair, dragged over to the corner. Kick to the head, super kick. Ivy Nile goes down. Ooh, headbutt by Gigi. Sent on by JC. 1, 2, and Kayden grabs the leg of JC. Crotch chop by JC Jane. We've got New Day defending their tag titles later against Briggs and Jensen. Going over, colliding into the corner. Tag, in comes Tatum Paxley. Paxley going up top. She comes down onto the face of JC Jane. It looked pretty brutal as Gigi makes the save. Grabbing Tatum. Tatum getting turns around as Gigi gets thrown into Kayden. In comes Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile is in the ring. Oh, net breaker. Nile goes down by JC Jane. Toxic Attraction in control. The Mayflower pub in Time, Gentlemen, please, with Al Murray, says Bonkers. Oh, God, I don't remember that. I know Al Murray. I can't remember Time, Gentlemen, please, though. Up top. Whoa, Katana gets... That's good. I like that. She got pushed off the top. She ended up landing on some people on the outside. Lovely submission holds. Oh, reverse, though. Ivy Nile gets pinned by Kayden. And the ladies retain. Katana and Kayden retain their championships. There was a lovely submission hold on there by Ivy Nile. But good reversal by Kayden. Right, they did it. They did it. They retained it. They are still the women's tag champs. It's good that we've got some proper tag teams coming through. It's good that we've got some teams that are actually like women's tag teams and they're not just singles thrown together. Like I feel like JC and Gigi, they've been together since the start. They feel like a proper women's tag team. Obviously, Kayden and Katana have been together for years. I mean, honestly, they've been together so long. They feel like a proper tag team. I like it. Hopefully, the women's tag division is going to be in great health in the future. Certainly better than where it is now. I like that. It was like a dragon sleeper, wasn't it? It was good. And then she went back. I thought it was like an inverted DDT that she'd done, you know. She'd kind of got her the other way around. Bang, fell backwards. But Kayden was able to flip over, which then meant that Ivy's shoulders were down. All I want is a selfie with Kofi, says the sign in the crowd. Well, you can't. Who's this? Who's this boomer? Who's this boomer? Who's this guy? Call me. I might not be here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. Oh, we've seen this dude before. Oro Mensa. We've seen him before. There's an exclusive interview with Roxanne Perez, the new NXT Women's Champion. That's coming up next. Days of Sasha does indeed. If Sasha enjoys AEW, do you see the division taking off more spotlight, TV time, opening or closing Dynamite, or do we not see much difference? I think you would see a difference. I think, though, that it would really depend how things go. If she can bring viewers to those segments, which she would, but more importantly, maintain those viewers. You know, the bottom line is it's going to come down to what ratings they do. You know, if they open up with Sasha, which they would if Sasha first came in, you know, the next show, I'm sure she would open the show, and they put her into an interesting story, you'd have to think that story would be pushed very heavily, but how does that perform? What are the ratings? Like, honestly, without knowing how it goes, you just don't know, do you? I mean, if you bring her in and there'll be a bump, and there will undoubtedly be a bump, people will tune in to see how they're going to use her. She would be one of the biggest stars they've ever added. I mean, she's right up there. Maybe the biggest? I'm trying to think, like, I really don't know, you know. I mean, like, I feel like CM Punk was obviously massive. And I wonder if Sasha would be that level. In my mind, I think it would. I think it would because she's a current star. She's a current star. Whereas CM Punk had not been seen for a long time. So there was people that were interested and people that tuned in. But I think because Sasha's been around now and Sasha's, you know, such a big star now, I've got a feeling that it would be as big. So whether it would, I mean, look, we saw what happened with CM Punk. Came in, big spike, went right back down and flatlined, right? I mean, he didn't, they were not doing like crazy ratings with him on the show. They were just doing what they were doing. There was a big interest, what's happening, like how they're going to use him, and then it settled down and flatlined. And I think it would do the same with Sasha. I think, how they're going to use that? Oh, that's what they're doing. Flatline. And I think it would be the same. I think it's a real fight. It's a real fight to get ratings in this day and age. It's a real fight. So I think that it would depend how it goes. If this was a TV rating, what would it be including Williams shenanigans? If this was a TV ratings, what would it be including Williams shenanigans? What? If this was a TV rating? 0.0. Do you think of Indi Hartwell? Do you think she could be on the main roster? Do you think if so, do you think bringing the Way back together could get over on the main roster or join Damage Control? I mean, look, I like the way. I think Austin Theory is on a different course. So you could do the way without Theory, and you could have Indi, Dexter, Johnny, and Candice. I mean, we've already got 3 of them together. So you could bring up Indi and put her with Dexter and do that. But I've got a feeling that they want to present Dexter as the silent psychopath. I don't know that they want to have Indi around at the moment. They just don't know what to do with Indi. They don't know what to do with her. They've done nothing with her. She was with Persia Pirotta after Johnny and Candice left, and it was really flat. And then, like, her solo stuff has just never got going. She was red hot when she was in the way, and it's the only thing of note that has been worth watching is her with Dexter and her with the way. So I don't know if they know what to do with Indi Hartwell. I really don't. So do you just call her up and put her with Johnny and put her with Candice? We don't even know if that's the plan, though. I mean, what do I think about Indi? I think that you've got to give a good creative, like most people. You've got to give her something to do. If she just goes out there and has matches, her match quality is so-so. Her promos are all right. There's not really too much to hang your hat on with Indi Hartwell, unfortunately, unless you give her something really juicy to get her teeth into. If you put her in a relationship with Dexter, she's going to kill it. She's going to be awesome. Like, you put her in a storyline and put her in the way and give her some stuff to have some fun with, then she's going to be awesome. But if you just put her out there to have a match and do a little promo thing, it ain't... I wouldn't expect there to be much buzz on the internet after. So, I like her. I wouldn't be looking to lose her or anything, but she is definitely someone that needs to have good, strong creative behind her. Here's Roxanne. She says that she's feeling overwhelmed. I walked into your school at 16. This has been a meteoric rise for you. I didn't expect all of this to happen in 9 months. Why take your shot now? The WWE writers used to be scared of Vince. Do you think they're scared of Triple H? I don't think so. Were they scared of Vince? I think they used to just write stuff and it just used to get changed. I should imagine they were fed up of Vince. The amount of rewriting he used to do. Booker T congratulates Roxanne. To former champion. Have you got any advice? I've always been about checks and championships. You're going to be nervous and you're going to have butterflies, but you've got to get those butterflies to line up straight and fly. Time to become a 2-time Hall of Famer. Everyone is so proud of you at Reality of Wrestling. Let's represent. Let's get it done. She's nodding. It's nice. Good. Is he getting emotional again? Did you hear Zelensky is coming to the US? No. Oh, he's so proud, isn't he? He's so proud. So, Roxanne and Booker then segment. It was nice. We'll do halftime scores in a sec. Here's Apollo. Right. When you say Sasha brings all the views, do you think we'd see much crossover? People are aware of AEW, but they're uninterested. Yeah, I think she'd definitely bring views because there's Sasha stands for starters that will follow her wherever she goes. And you will get WWE fans that will want to see how AEW are going to present her. Now, it's going to be really hard to convince those people to stick around, but they're going to want to know what her name is, what she dressed like, what's her ring attire like, what's her attitude like. Is it a boss gimmick? Is it a different gimmick? Is she in a group? Is she on her own? There's so many different questions around how you would book Sasha that people will just tune in just out of interest. Keeping them is going to be really difficult / impossible for many. But you will keep you'll keep the Sasha stands, for example. Unless they really don't like it. But how much it makes a difference, I think we can learn from CM Punk. A big spike in ratings, and then it'll settle back down again. It'll go up and peak and... I thought I would leave Deadline as the new NXT champ. In my heart, it was my night. The vision was clear. Didn't happen though, did it, mate? I came back to this energy for this. There's not many Chase U in the crowds. See a few actually now. Daze, Apollo Crews has been in WWE for as long as Steve Austin's entire run when he retired in 2003. That's mental. That's mental. At what point do you go, this just ain't going to work? NXT is going to be back on the roads. Seems like a very quiet crowd this week. Okay, so Apollo is in the ring and Carmelo is coming out. Huh? Daze, imagine we get Ricochet versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. We have had it. It's been decent. Nothing major has happened. Hello, Austin. Chase U is sad about what happened on Raw. Yeah, I can see a few of them now. The lights were down and I couldn't see all the Chase U shirts. I could only see about 3 or 4. But now they've put the lights on the crowd. I can see a fair few more. Okay, so we've got Apollo in the ring. We've got Carmelo in the ring. Expected more from you. Look at this man. Look at him. Mellow, 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 mellow. Marsh, marsh, marsh. He's got Bailey trousers on, you know, with the pockets all down the side. My God, in my mind, Bailey is beaten up backstage. She's not wearing any pants. So Carmelo firing some shots at Apollo. He's talking some trash. Did you know Booker T used to be a criminal? He stole food from Wendy's. No matter how good you think you are. As always, always someone better. Ooh. I don't have to stand here and tell you I am. Name the time, name the place. Oh my God, this has led to a match, guys. Can you believe it? So we've got Carmelo and Apollo face to face. Name the time, name the place. So Carmelo and Apollo. There's the New Day. Yes. What's this? Presents. We've got New Day and we've got Pretty Deadly. You got Kamala's mask and you got Bart Gunn's Brawl for All trophy. Not quite everything. Pretty Deadly have gone to get things. We couldn't get Nail's prison outfit. That's fun. Last week's price is not today's price, says the New Day. New Day. WWENXT Tag Team Champions. I need that Tyler Breeze selfie stick. Make sure you get that. I love that they couldn't get the Nails prison gear. The Ahmed LOD shoulder pads. Me want, said Erase Your Minds. Oh. Isla Dawn just blue red stuff in the face of Alba Fire. Medic, medic. We need a medic. Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Boom. Get in your scores. Get in your halftime scores. 7 said Chris. 6 said Mosey, the wrestling god. 10 out of 10 said 1 Minute Wrestler. 7 says Marty B. Alba Fire is so screwed. Sing with me. Melikalikmaka is the thing to say. I don't even know what that is. Jilly said 6. Big Time Baxter says 7. Austin said 6, but shake those hips some more. WWENXT World Tag Team Champions. Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
Caleb 65. Jesse 7. On the last SmackDown of the month, would you want Cody to return or Bronson to debut? Neither. Because Cody, I think, should go to Raw. And I think Bronson's going to struggle. I mean, Gunther's on SmackDown. Carrion's on SmackDown. Roman's on SmackDown. Drew's on SmackDown. Like, where does... Is Braun on SmackDown? Like, how does Braun get... I don't know how Braun's going to cope And in that kind of an environment, it's crowded, isn't it? It's really crowded. So, I don't know. I'll go neither. Rashawn said 7. John says Merry Christmas. John.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
James, 3. Raw TM said, I enjoy the cast. Who do you think is Howdy? Bray. But I'm open to it being someone else. Ryan said, Daze Dance, 10 out of 10. No room for NXT stars right now, said Big Time Baxter. I think we've read out all the scores. Bonkers with a 6.64. Rivy said 6.4 Earthquake. Okay, I don't think that was a score. I don't think that was a show rating. 3. Really? You clearly don't know anything about wrestling. Whoa! Shots fired. Shots fired. Oh my God, that was
Monster kill.
That was a monster kill right there. That was a monster kill. Isla Dawn apparently has got the power to make referees toss up their cookies when she touches them. Oh. That'd be annoying. If I had a load of cookies and I was like, oh, I can't wait to have these, and then Isla Dawn came along and all of a sudden my cookies are all in the air, I'd be like, oh, this is annoying. This is very frustrating. Because they're not going to be as nice after they've been on the floor. Unless the floor's covered in sugar. Just saying. Retribution, Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
Jim said 10 out of 10 just for the nails mention. Yeah. Especially considering he accused Vince of sexually assaulting him, which I don't believe happened, but it's hard to know now, innit? To be honest. So the fact that he got a mention on WWE TV is pretty wild. Fight. Right. We've got, oh, look at that. We got Lady Rock. Come out with the boys. When are you going to stop trying to fill the void in your life? We're just trying to have some fun. We got Blade, Anofe, Odyssey Jones. They're talking to Schism. They've all got some Schism shirts, new Schism shirts. Have fun. Go and have fun. He's got a sick Pink Floyd shirt, though. That is a sick Pink Floyd shirt. That is nice. That's fun. Joke's on her. There's some guys and a girl behind the commentators. They're wearing their Schism shirts. They've got their NXT tag belts. They got their Schism shirts. Oh, look, Alba Fire's in. Has anyone seen Braun? Oh, she's in pain. Here's Indi Hartwell. Indi Hartwell. I don't know who she's facing. There's a lot of goodwill towards Indi Hartwell. People really want her to succeed. Who's she facing, though? Who's this? Ding. Who the hell is this? Is this Elektra Lopez's new entrance? Well, there we go. Elektra Lopez getting an entrance. Didn't know who this was. Indi Hartwell's been in NXT forever. Indi Hartwell's been NXT forever. Daze is losing it. Why did Zoey Stark attack Nikkita? Well, she blames her, doesn't she, for them losing their like tag title opportunities. She feels like let down by her. The chat has turned on each other. Not even a Royal Rumble, and we've got some contenders here. Is it all kicking off in the chat? Guys, you know me. I don't like to see that. But I did see Irish Rebel saying a lot of bad things about you all. And then David backed him up as well. Austin came in and said you were all fat. And then William Hensey says that you all look like losers. But you know me, I don't like to cause trouble. Chris said it was like an elevator entrance, 3rd floor, ladies' lingerie. Well, that'll be where Mandy Rose is. she'll be in the lingerie. In all fairness, she don't even tend to wear that these days. From what I've heard. James said, you all suck. I'm not sure why, but Indi feels different now. I miss the old Indi. She just doesn't seem to have as much fun anymore. They don't give her anything to do. I mean, what's she meant to do? Poor woman doesn't even get an entrance. All she can do is stand in the ring. I mean, unless she's going to be like skipping around the ring or something. I don't know what she can do. I feel sorry for her. I think you've got to give her creative. You've got to give her something to do. Let's go Indi chant. And it's a bit no Indi. I feel like the crowd on Raw and the crowd here are in Christmas mode now. It's Christmas week. There's only about 4 or 5 days to go. And they're very much like their minds have turned to eggnog. That's what they're thinking. They're just thinking, oh, lovely eggnog. Let's go Indi. Let's go Indi. And that's it. Roll up by Indi. I bet they'll come to life when the New Day come out. She's going through the motions, says Jeremy. Braden said, if you see me and a twig next to each other, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Okay. Better could. Mandy Rose is my age, says Capsman. Is Elektra Lopez the new Nia Jax? I don't think so. I wouldn't say she's the new Nia Jax. Do you mean in like a Botchasaurus? Both collide into each other. I don't think she's that bad, is she? Elektra Lopez down, Indi down as this continues. Coming up later tonight. We've only got 40 minutes and the overrun. We've got Indi. What's she doing? What's Elektra Lopez doing? Brass knucks. She's got them from William Regal. Oh my God, brass knucks. Bang! Right in the face. 1, 2, 3. Bang. Look at that. Right back in the old... What do you mean? What just happened? What do you mean? What just happened? Jeez, we just saw the whole thing play out. What does he mean? What just happened? The whole world just saw what happened. Wow, guys, what just happened? Elektra Lopez gets the win. Lopez beats Hartwell. She's always 2 steps ahead. Step 1, step 2. She's cleared. Oh, I hope she gets hit with more red mist stuff now. That'd be so funny. Right, you're cleared for your match. You're cleared for your match. Thank you. Oh my God, it's happened. Oh. Just a constant cycle of being spat in the face, misted, recovering and then getting misted again. Brilliant. Raw TM, shout out to you. Appreciate the support, dudes. Appreciate the support. Raw TM. TM stands for Raw this Monday. And it is. Facts. The best match of the night is up next, said the Beach Kevin. I didn't see what happened. What happened? She got misted by Isla Dawn, and then she was like, and so she's been in the medical center. And now he's just said, you're good now. There's no more irritation. You can have your match. And she's like, thank you. And she was putting a jacket on, and I really thought she was going to turn around and get misted again. And I was like, oh, that would be so good. Oh, Doctor, it's happened again, Doctor. It burns. It burns. That'd be so good. I just love seeing people in pain. Just love it. Trademark. No, I'm afraid you don't get to decide what it stands for. Not my rules. This was pretty much a women's NXT, and I'm okay with that, said Vin. Carmelo versus Ricochet for Carmelo's SmackDown debut. 1 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10. It could be Carmelo's debut. I think Ricochet would win. What about you? Carmelo versus Ricochet as the first match. Be fine. The only problem is I feel sorry for Ricochet. Ricochet now is falling into that role, isn't he, where he's just going to have matches with people to put him over, like Gunther, Carmelo. He's fallen into the Natalya Dolph Ziggler role without ever having the success of Natalya or Dolph Ziggler. Like, they had careers and then slipped into that role. And somehow Ricochet slipped into that role and he's not even had the success. So I feel a bit sorry for him. This show has been a solid 10 out of 10, said Delmar. Indi is going to go into the Rumble, I'm guessing, says James. Daze is a bully. Yeah. Argentina had their parade in Buenos Aires. I did see. Have you seen some of the images? There's a guy walking down the street. This is me walking down the street. And he was filming, so he was actually doing that. And there was no one on the street. And then as soon as the final whistle goes, you just hear this massive roar. And then all these people start pouring out onto the street celebrating. It's amazing. There's no one there, a couple of people. But he's just walking down the street, and then you hear this roar, and then all these people come out. It's amazing. Some of the footage is stunning. And have you seen the drone shot in Buenos Aires where the drone goes down that street into the square and it's just, you can't see anything but people. You just can't see anything but people absolutely everywhere as the drone goes around, and then it like even goes up, and as you see a wider shot, it's just people. It's amazing. Some of the shots are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Paddy should be credited for every win in every sports. It'd be funnier if Dom was already there getting follow-up treatment on his eyes right next to her. He was used better as Prince Puma, 100%. 100%. Prince Puma, man, he had a character of sorts. Ricochet just, it doesn't do it, man. It doesn't do it. Yeah. Prince Puma, so much better. And they don't have anyone like Prince Puma. I mean, the closest you've got is probably Rey Mysterio. Right, we've got Wesley. Okay, he's going to defend his title against Tony next week. Okay, so Wesley versus Tony. If Tony wants this as bad as he claims, I know I'll have Dijak in the shadows coming for this. Okay, so Wesley versus Tony next week. for the North American Championship. Bye, Wes. Do you know what we've not had this week? Oh, here's Sol Ruka. What we've not had this week is we've not had that Javier Bernal moment with Mackenzie. We've been getting them every week. Here's Sol Ruka then. Do you reckon she's going to do that move? Sol Ruka, Soul, is that the name of the move? The Soul Snatcher. She ain't going to do that move to Alba Fire, though, is she? Unless Isla Dawn gets involved, and then that allows Sol Ruka to hit it. Is Alba Fire. I actually don't think she should do it that often, though. It's a big move, and it's an impressive move. Soul Snatcher. Lucha Underground didn't even come on in the UK. No. And do you know what? We didn't even get it when it went onto Netflix, which sucked. But Jimmy Wang Yang. Jimmy Wang Yang. Soul is very green, said James. Did you see Messi with the World Cup trophy sleeping? I did, yeah. Oh, she's been attacked by Isla Dawn. Isla Dawn throwing in... wow, that's not much of an outfit, is it? Isla Dawn grabbing the baseball bat. Isla Dawn hitting the ring steps with the baseball bat whilst Alba Fire's hand was in there. So here we go. We've got... Is Alba Fire crying? I don't need the weird laughter being played into the arena. Now let's go to Chase U. Yay! Right. We have... So, no match. Poor Sol Ruka. New sweater. Christmas cookies. Fruit cake. Oh... Having a go at Scott here. There's a few people that have got fruit cakes. Oh, they've had to leave the... They've had to leave the queue there. Here's... what's Duke got? What's Duke got? Okay, he's going to steal someone else's gift. They've all got gifts for Andre Chase. Duke's great here. I'll hold this for you. You go and talk to them. It'll all work out. Right, he's jumped the queue. Here we go. What, do you get the man that's got everything? Here you go. Thea Hale's so impressed. Isla is Uncle Howdy. Bring it in. Bring it in. Big hugs. Number one professor, Andre Chase. Cheeky. That was all right. That was all right. Okay, so New Day. Is this going to be our main event? I'd think so. Do you remember when Isla Dawn beat Thea Hale? No. I remember Thea Hale ever losing. Don't worry, Daze. Bad Bunny will be doing Destroyers soon. I'm just going to embrace it. Just going to embrace it. Bad Bunny's my favourite wrestler. I think all these wrestlers in NXT should just be made to watch Bad Bunny matches, and then they might actually get good. Here's Kiana James back again. I didn't come here to talk to you. Kiana just saying good luck to Brooks, and Brooks is a mess. It's a mess of a man. He's acting like if I was to hit on Austin. Just a mess of a man. And there we go. Right, commercial break. Daze, you should stop playing around and just go steady with Austin. Gigi should go back to Kelly. Gigi should go back to... Oh, what? Priscilla Kelly. Dig in the Terry Bam Bam Gordy shirt. It was nice. Was nice. Sweet Home Alabama. Is Daze no longer a cherub? Did allegations service? Always a cherub. There's always allegations, but I'm always a cherub. Ayana said, WrestleMania 37, Mandy fell, but Mandy Rose. Get it. New Day. Yeah, we got the New Day coming up. We got 27 minutes, little bit of an overrun. It's Christmas, innit? It's Christmas. It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. What do people want for Christmas? Anyone want anything good? We asked this the other day, but there might be some different people here today. What are people hoping for? Anyone want anything good? Anything wrestling related? PlayStation 5? Xbox S? A bike? A doll? Train set? Skate Electric? Lego? Magic set? Chemistry set? Anyone after anything interesting? AC/DC, said TJB. What, you want the band? AC/DC. Tricky. Tricky. That's not going to be easy. I want you on my bed. No clothes. Well, I'd hope there was no clothes on your bed, Austin. Definitely want to keep your bed nice and tidy, mate. You don't want to have clothes all over it, so I agree. No clothes on the bed. I want some tittles, says Chill Dudes. Good, affordable present. Tittles. You can... perfect for mothers and fathers. I want a smoker. Oh, what? To smoke food? I actually don't know what that looks like. I don't know what a smoker looks like. A pog maker? Oh, pog makers. Oh, God, they were so much fun. Pog maker. That was basically just something that used to cut out, like, round circles out of pictures. And then you'd stick them onto cardboard and like, make your own pogs. I'm guessing pogs were a thing in America as well. Pog maker. God, that's such a great shout. Sabutio pitch. I always wanted like a stadium for the Sabutio. I did have a Sabutio once, but I tell you, did you ever see the Total Action football where you hit their head and the base sort of made the ball move? You didn't have to flick it. You sort of hit it down and then that somehow moved the ball. I always fancied that. I want Wrestling Daze for Christmas, says Harry. All I want for Christmas is you. I know that one. Here's Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak in the ring with some Boomer. That Boomer is. I want some Beyblades. Oh, wow. We all want Beyblades. We all want Beyblades after Austin Theory convinced us to go for them. Here's Hank Walker. You can call me Drew. I know I'm not Charlie Dempsey. I know I can be better. Have you got any advice? Make that 373 watch. What's a 373 watch? Hank getting that train in. The key to the lockbox. What? Vince's lockbox. Do you remember Vince had a lockbox around WrestleMania 30? Was it 32? It's like 7 years ago when Shane McMahon faced The Undertaker. And there was a lockbox that Vince had as well, wasn't there? Here's Briggs and Jensen. So Hank Walker wants to be trained by Gulak. Thanks, Drew. Right, here's Briggs and Jensen. Daze, I'll get you some Mandy couch pillows. She's probably selling them off now to make some money, isn't she? I mean, we shouldn't laugh. She lost her job. But hopefully she got to choose what she wanted to do. If she chose to do that stuff instead, that was her choice. That's when I'm allowed to laugh. Right, Briggs and Jensen against the New Day. I'd like a Lego set of WrestleMania or Raw or SmackDown. I think we know what was in that lockbox now, said excellence of execution, yeah? Yeah. Vince's dignity. There's a world outside your window. It's a world of dread and fear where the water flows bitter, sing of tears, Christmas bells. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Do you remember when Vince said, your mom insult to Theory? I do, yeah. Yeah. That was wild, wasn't it? He said he was going to take a picture of him all beaten up and then send it to his mom, didn't he? Liv is going to retire soon so that she can go into acting. All I want for Christmas is Vince's golden egg and a trip to Australia. In Australia. In Australia. It's a Manic Street Preacher song. Here's Fallon. There's a few boos there. Look, Fallon having a little giggle. Team champions. The New Day. New Day here. New Day in the ring. How exciting. It's pretty fun, isn't it? NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. The New Day versus Briggs and Jensen. Hey, we want some New Day. Hey, we want some New Day. Hey, we want some New Day. Here we go then. Kofi Kingston locking up with Briggs. Kofi locking up with Briggs again. I think this is our main event. It would make sense it was our main event. Got a lot of time left to go if it is our main event. Briggs swinging away. Kofi ducking underneath. Big shot to the back there of Briggs. No way New Day is going to lose. I think Vince said that. It was hilarious. All I want for Christmas is Liv Morgan, said 1 Minute Wrestler. Tempted to type the lyrics to Lad's Baby's version of Do They Know It's Christmas. I can't stand Lad Baby. They've ruined Christmas with their charity work. Over the top goes Kofi. And again. Ooh, gets caught. Kofi in the air. Boom. Planted. Briggs in control. Kofi having to regroup, having to go over to Xavier, make the tag. In comes Xavier Woods. Fallon on the outside watching as Briggs and Woods hook up. Back elbow by Xavier. Xavier crossbody gets caught there by Briggs. Up on the shoulders. Down he goes. Against the ropes. Kick to the midsection. Woods with the chop. Trying to go over against the ropes. Looking for a clothesline. No joy. Duck underneath. In between the legs. Forearm strike there by Woods. Woods charging over. Big splash forearm in the corner. Here's Kofi. He collides into Briggs. Woods collides into Briggs. Kofi. Drop kick to Briggs. Briggs down in the corner. Can't wait for Big E to return. And good dude and arm okay man. No one talks on Discords. It's so funny how we don't talk on Discord. The only picture Vince sent to Theory... Is that the only picture Vince sent to Theory's mom? Don't know. Probably not. The perv. Here in Florida, back in the 80s, we had Jake the Snake show up as Santa Claus and cost Dusty Rhodes a loser leave town match against Kevin Sullivan, which led to the Midnight Riders. Well, now you've got Nikkita Lyons, so it's hard to know what generation is better, isn't it? Right, on the outside goes Briggs and Jensen. There in the crowd is Kiana and her assistant. I can't remember her name. And we go to commercial break. What I want for Christmas and for my sister is to get well. That would be the greatest gift of all. I wish you and your sister all the very best, Irish Rebel. How do you feel about Vince returning? It's not something that I personally want to see. I think the shows are better. I think they could get even better next year as Triple H has his first full year of booking. So yeah, I'm not eager to see Vince return. WWE needed to wait for Paige to leave before risking putting Xavier Woods anywhere near an NXT belt, said Steve. Do you think when Big E returns, they could bring Big E back to go after the NXT Championship against Bron Breakker? That would be a banger. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could, but I think, don't they tend to use people that they just don't really know what to do with down in NXT? Like, New Day aren't really doing much at the moment, are they, on the main roster? So, you know, just use them down here. Mandy didn't really have anything for her, so use down there. Finn, they didn't have anything for him at the time, so we went back and had a run in NXT. If Big E comes back, it would depend if they've got something for him. I feel like him coming back would be a big moment, and so I don't think you'd put him down in NXT straight away. I think if he can make it back after that horrific neck injury, that's going to be a big moment with Big E coming back. So I don't think you'd put him back down in NXT. So I'm going to lean towards no. I'm going to lean towards I don't think that's going to happen. And Honestly, I don't even know when Bron Breakker... I don't know when Big E comes back. I don't know when Bron Breakker gets called up. There's every chance that they don't quite cross over at the same time. If Triple H books Cody to win the Rumble over The Rock, I will never doubt a Triple H booking decision again, said Austin. That says a lot. Daze is a huge Vince fan, but for him to say he'd rather go forward with Triple H, that's big. I mean, I've got respect for Vince. It's hard to not have respect for Vince outside of, obviously, the allegations and everything that he's been accused of. I'm not including that. But I think what he's achieved in the wrestling industry, he is undeniably, for me, the guy that's had the biggest impact on professional wrestling. He, took WWE from where it was, which was a regional promotion, to a global promotion. He created WrestleMania. He didn't create Hulkamania, but he capitalized on Hulkamania. Attitude Era, he was sort of forced into it, but he made the right decisions. He obviously did the WWE Network. That was great foresight. There's just so much stuff. I mean, the stuff he's done wrong, tons of it. But there's tons that he's done right as well. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to know. If someone else had booked, would WWE still be here? Someone else could have took the reins of WWE and it might not have survived. So I sort of do respect what he did and where he took WWE to. And, he created The Undertaker and, we had Brett, we had Shawn. He brought these people in. He gave them the platform to shine. He did a lot right. Anything that you've enjoyed in WWE history between the 80s and earlier this year, Vince had a say in it. So I sort of do respect that. But he's had his time, and it's done. He had his time. There's plenty that wasn't great. And I'm really interested to see what Triple H can do. I enjoyed Triple H's booking. I enjoyed his booking in NXT. I don't think it's been incredible, though, on the main roster. It's been safe and steady and, dare I say, a bit middle of the road, actually. But I think there has been a slight improvement as well. So, yeah, I would stick with Triple H. I would imagine the vast majority of people here would. Might be the odd person that would want Vince to come back, though. Blood on the mouth of Briggs. He's down in the corner. Jensen has come in and is unloading. Over the top goes Kofi. He gets caught. He gets thrown into the edge of the ring. Hurled into the ropes. Clothesline. Down he goes. We've got Woods going in between the ropes. He gets knocked. Oh, my God. He gets knocked against the ropes as he bounces back off. Big, vicious lariat. And in the ring is Jensen. Briggs tags himself in. There was blood just around the mouth of Briggs. Atomic drop, big boot. Some nice tag work here between Briggs and Jensen, 2. Kick out by Kofi. Kick out by Kofi. And some nice stuff. So excited for the Naked Member Live on 22. I've brought a new ribbon. All I want for Christmas is a new Xbox controller, Caleb. I hope you get that. Do you accept Dominic in Judgment Day? Yes. Middle of the roads. Cody Rhodes. Don't forget, that was Vince. Yeah, I've accepted. This is the best stuff Dominic's doing. Forearm strike to Briggs. He goes down. Up top is Jensen. Where's he going? Oh, big moonsault. Big moonsault. 1, 2. Kick out by Kofi. Kick out by Kofi. Fallon Henley can't believe it. That was a massive moonsault. Look at that. He's the Jensen of the sky. Wow. The Jensen of the Sky. Well done, me. Up on the shoulders, then goes Kofi as Briggs goes up. He gets knocked. Oh, my God, he went hard into that commentary tape. Reverse Rana by Kofi. Bang! Trouble in Paradise. Trouble in Paradise. Over the top goes Kofi. Woods is up. This feels like the end. But we've still got time left. Elbow drop. Big elbow drop. 1, 2, 3. New Day retain. New Day retain. New Day rock. What the hell are we doing for the rest of the show? What are we doing for the rest of the show? For sure. When is Pretty Deadly going to interfere? I'm guessing after, maybe. Bang. Look at that elbow drop. That was lovely by Xavier. Lovely elbow drop. Boom. Springboard elbow. Let's go, said Xavier. Let's go. That was awesome. Was awesome. Have we heard that was awesome chants? That was awesome. That was awesome. Don't know if I've heard that was. I've heard this is awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. All I want for my birthday is a selfie with Kofi, and then there's a sign next to it. Woods, can I get a selfie? No. No. No selfies for you two. And we leave. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Stacks is talking to Dijak, isn't he? Is he talking in the mirror? I get a feeling he's probably talking in the mirror. He's talking with a lot of confidence. No, he's talking to the door. I got this. It's probably not going to go well, Stacks. Probably not going to go well, mate. Here's Grayson Waller. I don't know where to find you, but you know where to find me. In the middle of that ring. Here we go. Totally forgot about this. I'd love to hear the crowd chant, that was average. That was average. That was passable. That was acceptable. That was fine. That was okay. Austin is Daze's toxic attraction. I would love to see the crowd chant. Read that, definitely. Right, we are at commercial break, and we are sneaking our way to the end of this show. We are sneaking our way there. Grayson is going to end the show. Grayson Waller versus Braun question mark. Grayson Waller is embarrassing himself, says Jim. That was so. That was so. Nice. That was so. That works better, actually. They are discussing Cody to fight Roman on night 1 for the Undisputed Championship, and then The Rock to fight Roman on night 2 in the main event for no title, which makes sense, says Fitz's Productions. Mr. Quake said AEW is kicking WWE in the crotch. Are they? Are they doing that right now? This has been a great episode, said Jim. That was adequate. That was adequate. That works all right as well. You keep mixing up Briggs and Jensen. Oh, maybe I do. I actually don't know. I thought the one... Isn't the one that's got a crush? Isn't that Briggs? Isn't that Briggs? The one that Thing is hitting on. Who thinks Perez's reign isn't going to last long? I don't think it won't be as long as Mandy's. I don't think it'll be like a few weeks or anything. Did the moonsault land on Kofi's head? It seemed a bit high. I hope Roman keeps the titles at WrestleMania. He's so close to 1,000 days. He'll be at 900 and something at WrestleMania, I'm sure. He'll be at 900 and something. Why is it that after heartbreak you start to miss everyone? What is happening to me? I think I've got withdrawal effects of love. Listen. Breakups are difficult. So you have to just look after yourself, go out, see your friends. Just look after yourself. That's what you need to do. I don't know which one is Briggs and which one is Jensen. Well, I think the one that has the crush on is Briggs, and I am fully prepared to be wrong on that. Fully prepared to be wrong. Are you streaming the Man United game tomorrow? There's a Man United game tomorrow. Is there a Man United? If there is, that's news to me. Do you think Tony is following Mandy on OnlyFans? Tony Khan? Yeah, probably. He's got loads of money, hasn't he? She's increased it by $10 a month. He wouldn't even notice. That's how rich Tony Khan is. He wouldn't even notice. He can afford to do it, and it's just no inconvenience to him whatsoever. So, yeah, if you've got that kind of money, why not? He'd follow everyone. Who isn't he following on OnlyFans? New year. New me? Who is this woman that keeps showing, this boomer? Am I meant to, like, be speculating as to who that woman is, do you think? Is that a conversation we're meant to have? Who is that woman? Here is Ivy and Tatum and the Creed brothers. We made great strides. Here's Indi Sheer. You guys can get it whenever. They're big, aren't they? Look at the size of Indi Sheer compared to, like, Ivy Nile. It looks like Ivy Nile would be a snack for Sanga. Look at the size difference. Look at the size difference between Ivy Nile and Sanga. It's amazing. Did you hear the rumblings? NBC could look to regain SmackDown. Fox may not be willing to give SmackDown a big increase. It could open the door for AEW and Fox. Oh. Gonna have all this drama coming, aren't we? 2024, I believe. So, I mean, I'd imagine by, like, the end of the year, we'll get some idea as to what's going to happen. So, let's see. Let's see where it goes. Battle for the Bar next week. Wesley against Tony. Schism against Odyssey Jones, Malik Blade, and Idris Enofe. Cora Jade against Wendy Chu. All these matches. Man, that picture is so bad. That picture is so bad. Did you see that image of Schism of Joe Gacy? Did you see how rubbish that image was of Gacy? That was so bad. I've got to show you this image, man. I've got to show you this image. I've got to. I'm legally obligated to show you how bad this image is. It's a legal obligation. Here's Grayson Waller in the ring. Right, Grayson Waller in the ring then, and we should be going. I ain't waiting any longer. I want the NXT Championship right here, right now. Is this a prank, do you think, that they're playing on Joe Gacy? Do you think they're playing a trick on him? Do you think they're doing it to wind him up? Is that why they're doing these graphics like this? Look at that. Look at Joe Gacy's head in relation to that body. What the hell is going on there? What the hell is going on? Like, that head does not belong on that body. That is either someone doing a horrific job, or that is a rib that they're playing on him or something. That is mental. That is mental. Right, what's this? What's going on? We got Grayson Waller in the ring. Right, outside is a car. Car's arrived. Here's Bronathan. Here's Bronathan Breaker. You think I'm scared of you? This is what I wanted. Let's do this right now. I run this show. I ain't scared of no one. I run this show. Here we go. Here's Braun making his way out. Break me. Come and break me. Braun running into the ring. Against the ropes. Spear takes down... Why are they both down? Oh, he's got the thing. He's done the classic Bret Hart thing. Braun out cold. So he had a... Nice. The only problem is, though, why would he be out cold? Because he speared him with his shoulder. Speared him with his shoulder? So why is he out cold? The replay, like, you can clearly see he spears him there. I outsmarted you tonight. And at New Year's Eve, I'll outsmart you one more time. So Grayson has got the title. So it looks like the show's going to end with Grayson Waller holding up that NXT Championship. What do you score? NXT. Is Waller giving us a glimpse into the new year? Shush, you're going to ruin the kayfabe. Oh, sorry. Yeah, head first, he speared him. Head first, right into his midsection, and then he's just revealed he's wearing that thing, and he's knocked him out cold. He's knocked him out cold. It's Braun's fault, though. I mean, why would you spear someone head first, silly Billy? WWE have posted a video of the top 10 most watched WWE videos, and Veer was on it 3 times Bray Return wasn't in the top 10. One of Via's videos was second, and it was higher than Cody's return. It's popular, isn't he, Via? It's Man United versus Burnley in the Carabao Cup. Don't know who we're going to play, because I can't imagine Varane and Martinez are going to be able. It's going to have to be Maguire and Lindelof in it. What if every feud has a block you on Twitter moment? Oof. I don't think I could watch that time after time after time, chill dude. I'm still disturbed by by having to watch Roxanne Perez do it to Cora Jade. It was horrific. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. 6 out of 10 said Finley. Yeah, get in your votes. Get in your votes. Get in your votes. Did you enjoy the show? It's all right. City versus Liverpool on Thursday. It's a prediction, not a spoiler. We're going to play the Messiah that is Phil Jones. Phil Jones. Lovely. Next week's NXT looks pretty good, doesn't it? We've got Wendy against Cora. We've got the Battle of the Bar, Fallon Henley taking on Kiana James. So we've got that. I think, is it Carmelo Apollo, maybe? There's a fair few matches there, which look all right. Brett would be proud. Jim says 8. Game said 6.5. Shaquem said 7. Crazy how popular Veer is. Why not push a guy that popular? Well, he's popular in India, but I don't think he was popular anywhere else. And I don't know that. It's weird, isn't it? Because I suppose I don't know how much money they make from their TV rights in India, but obviously it's their TV in America that's a big money driver for them. So they sort of, even though Veer is popular because of India, and that doesn't really help their American ratings. So I'd imagine that a lot of these decisions are done by the TV ratings that come in from America. Would be my guess. Via is coming. 6.2. It's passable, said John. Rashawn said 7.25. John said 7.5. Virus said 7. We're almost at 100. As soon as we get to 100, we're going to shut this down, and then we'll be on our way. Don't forget, we are back tomorrow. We're going to be back tomorrow with the final AEW before Christmas. Then, of course, we've got SmackDown, which is pre-recorded, but I do still expect it to be a decent show. And I do expect there to be some backstage surprises, things that we don't know about. They do tend to put those in, so Friday should still be worth watching. And then, as we said, I think we'll definitely look to do a classic retro watch-along on Saturday. I am leaning to WrestleMania 18, actually. I think that'll be really fun. We've never done a watch-along for Rock and Hogan. So that could be good. Daze shook his hips, and that's all that matters. Right, let's end this. Bang, bang. You lot, you had 4 minutes. If you haven't voted by now, that's on you. Yeah, that's on you. So what do you score NXT? 7 to 775, 41%. 8 to 10, 37%. Wow. 6 to 675, 16%. 575 or below, 4%. And that's it. We are done. Appreciate everyone joining us for NXT. We will be back with NXT again next week. But don't forget, we're back tomorrow for all the fun and thrills and spills of All Elite Wrestling. So, right. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.